Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I am, as always, Alex, and I am joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. It feels so good to be back. It doesn't really. I had to watch all this within the last 24 hours because I've been moving all week. So, you know, it's fine though. Watched one of the best matches of the year. That was fun. Uh, yeah, yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Sorry for inflicting Velka on y'all last week. Love the guy, but 2.5 hours, really, Alex? You couldn't rein him in a little bit?
I tried. I really tried. And I can only do so much.
Yeah. Well, I am currently at a hotel in my hometown. So just in case anybody hears anything in the background, I do have both my dogs and my mother on the other side of the room from where my computer is. So if there's a little background noise,
I don't know how
you
you
know.
do it. I could not record like that. I would crack up
I mean,
like
I
all the time.
used to. This is far from the first time this has happened. I used to sleep in the living room of an apartment for the first 2 years we did the podcast. So people were coming in and out constantly. Um, and then usually when I'm out here, I record in my best friend's room, in her bedroom, while she's just on the bed giggling at the dumb shit I say. So
That's incredible.
I'm pretty used to it. I'm more worried about the dogs because I don't know. They're both sleeping now, but
Okay.
love
We
them for
gotta
the best.
can't excite them. All right.
Yeah.
Well, head on over to the 5starnetwork.co for all of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of wrestling. Head on over to the 5 Star Network YouTube channel where this show goes up, as well as Actress Stage and No Limit Wrestling. I have no idea what you guys are doing about No Limit.
You are going to be on the next episode
I am.
next month at some
Oh,
point. It's going
oh,
to be a
right.
live
Okay,
episode.
okay.
We're going to sort it out. It should be a live
Sure.
episode because we're doing a draft.
Great.
Yeah, and that might have implications on this show.
This is the first I'm hearing of most
Yeah,
of this. So,
me and Xavier have been workshopping it in our private DM, which is funny because we never text each other in our private DM. But we've been concocting a plan. Basically, the idea is the losers will have to, or maybe it won't impact this show. I think you might have to go on Scott's show. I don't know, up to you. But
okay.
the losers are going to have to review a match of the winners choosing on their show in depth. Uh, like I had to review the Britt Baker matches once
Okay,
upon a time.
right.
That's the forfeit, and it's gonna be me and Xavier against you and Scott. So I don't know if you guys are gonna want to review it together on like the 5 star, or if you're gonna review it here and Scott's gonna review it on the 5 star, and it's gonna be separate. But that is a part of the ruling if you guys lose, of course. So that's a few months
Okay.
in the future. But yeah,
I'm already dreading it. And
yes, as you should.
I don't
It's
know.
a tag team draft for anybody who doesn't know. That's what we're cooking up right now. Is a tag team all time tag team draft. So look forward to that.
Shit's gonna get crazy. All right. Um, well, onto the world of wrestling. Marigold starts, and Marigold is first. They were on last Thursday, so we're just gonna get them mostly out of the way.
Hmm.
Outside of Marigold, they were involved in Monday Magic again. On Monday, the team of Bozilla, Koki, and Natsumi Shozuki beat Hyan, Miyuki Takase, and Sadie Gibbs. So another kind of Marigold versus Marvelous match to a degree, and Takase is a freelancer. And I didn't get to see it. I totally forgot this happened until
I,
we
I
started.
I just watched this like 10 minutes ago. It was all right.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, Sadie Gibbs is an interesting wrestler. Because I forgot that like she's solid, but her thing only really works in Japan. Like she's the perfect foreign wrestler.
Yes.
So when I was like, "Oh, why is she back? Like that's strange." Like I was, hadn't thought of her in a long time. And I watched it, I was like, "Oh yeah, because like it it's just Japan. Like that's how her style works."
Mhm.
So it made more sense when I watched the trios match because she was good in it. Um, yeah, Koki did shockingly little considering she's the GHC Women's Champion.
Yeah, I thought they might use this to build to a match or something, but I guess not. They seem really interested in Bozilla. Like, they are just
Yes,
like, "Get us all the Bozilla." So,
I think
not that I
there's.
blame them.
I don't know. I should know this. I'm the person who follows Noah more than you do. I haven't followed Noah much. I think there's another episode or two of Monday Magic this go around. I imagine that will build to Gochka versus Koki. Um, I feel like they
Yes.
should probably run a tag of some sort featuring those two.
It's
But also,
strange.
Gochka's not back yet, is she?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not
So
that
so
I
that's
remember.
probably why this is messy.
The strange thing to me is that I feel like Sadie Gibbs is being, like, built up by everybody.
Hmm.
Senjo gave her a competitive singles match with Hash. Marvelous seems to like her. I
Oh,
wonder if she's
Chigusa loves
somebody
her.
that they're gonna line up. Yeah, like, I wonder if Coke or not Koki, Sadie Gibbs is somebody that they're gonna line up for maybe a title shot. I think she'd do fine as well. I
I
think,
mean,
her and Koki would be fun.
she was in the final stand of
Yeah,
the Royal Rumble,
and
whatever.
since then, she's just gotten more, like,
Yeah.
pro
So I
notable.
and we didn't get to talk about last week. I wasn't here, and I didn't get to listen to the show. I apologize. But so I don't know if you and Velke talked about it, but I do think that like Marvelous and Chigusa is definitely looking at this like, okay, for now, since this is a Marigold dominated thing, I'm gonna give y'all my foreign talent,
Mhm.
and I'm not going to go too crazy yet. Uh, Takumi isn't losing to Koki in the next 2 months type of
No.
thing. Um, so I imagine that's a big part of it, and I do imagine Sadie Gibbs is probably a big aspect of that, which I think is really interesting. Um, and we'll see. That match, Koki versus Sadie Gibbs, will either like be really good and like impressive, or it will completely fall apart and be not good.
Yeah.
So I trust Koki way more now than I did 2 months ago. So I'm
Mhm.
less thinking that way. But you get what I mean. They could
Yeah,
just
it's always difficult with a foreign wrestler. Remember
yeah
Reese Hoshki, 'cause it was, like, insane until she wrestled foreigners,
yeah
and then it
never
was just
never
done.
put her in there with a white woman.
No, it's crazy. Um, Sareeism chapter 6 as well. Sareee
Oh
at
wait, there's this past
over
weekend there was another thing that a lot of people missed. LLPW ran,
Oh,
and there
yeah,
was a ton
shit,
of
yeah.
involvement.
Nori beat
Mizuki lost to
Yuzuki.
Nori.
Yeah.
This isn't related to our show, but Nakamori pinned Kandori, which is
What?
incredible. Yeah, she like rolled
Andori
her
took
up.
a fall?
I'm pretty sure I saw pictures of her taking a fall and then getting pissed after
Dude,
the match.
that's
I was like,
crazy.
that is incredible. Um, and is that the only person that was on that show? I
I
think
think
Utami
so,
might
yeah.
have been on that show.
Natsupoi was on it. She was in the main.
Utami did something this past week. I
She
don't know.
wasn't she on that
Utami's
small
always doing
indie
something.
show, Ehime Pro or something with Shino and
That
her
was the
mom?
week before. Yeah, she
Oh,
wrestled Sha. But
yeah, I
yeah,
don't know then.
Utami's always doing stuff. Utami's campaigning for a match against Mika Iwata,
What a
just out of
beast.
nowhere, because she that's how
She
she
knows she'll win.
moves. Yeah, I mean obviously. Um, but yeah, so Utami's just doing shit, but I don't know if she did
We love
anything this
that for
past
her.
weekend. Yeah,
She is not involved in Sareeism though. Sareeism Chapter 6 is on
mm.
January 23rd, 2025. Bozilla is teaming with Mio Momono to take on Kyoto Ito and Eureka Oka in
You
a
know,
fascinating match.
I have been begging for Bozilla versus Mio Momono minutes for so long that it blinded me from the idea of Bozilla versus Kyoto Ito minutes, which is obviously infinitely better. Um,
Hmm.
I but no, that sounds fucking killer. Like that's awesome. I love that. Would have
Sure,
loved it if they
sure.
were on opposite sides of the match, her and Mio, but I also get it. Um, imagine the
Why didn't they just run the banana
because they're
pair
champions.
kids versus Ito and Bozilla?
They're 3AW champions
And you tell me that Kyoto Ito was a legend, therefore the legend could have won.
over a champion. I mean, they would
Yeah,
have to. That's my point.
it's Nagayo. He
Is
don't
that
give a
is that
fuck.
Ito and Bozilla would have to win that match.
Yeah.
There's no way they don't.
Just
Um,
Suzu Nagayo. It's Mio's getting a V0. It doesn't matter.
yeah, I mean, did Magenta win a match during their championship reign? I'm genuinely asking. Um,
Yes, I think they did. They
they've
had a
won a couple,
weird
but you get
title
my point.
match. Yeah. No, I understand. Um, Elsewhere on this card with Marigold, Victoria Yuzuki is in the opener, and she's against Sha, niece of Manami Toyota. Um, her name continues to change all the time. I don't think I've seen Sha, or maybe I have and I just forgot, but that'll be interesting.
She was in one
Also,
match that
also,
like
also,
everybody saw.
she was
She's been on
okay.
2 Sareeisms. That's what it is.
That yeah, you know what, that checks out. I've definitely seen her. Most interesting, Yumika Hoda and Miku Kanai, who is, a very highly thought
Kanamic.
of prospect, versus Jaguar Yokota and Kizuna Tanaka.
Love
So
that.
not only is Kizuna getting some minutes and she's going to get the shit beat out of her by Yumika Hoda, Yumika Hoda is indirectly working with Rossy Ogawa on this show. Sareee breaking down barriers like
Saree's
never
power.
before. Never before. So that's a fun show. Takumi and Chi-Chi is actually insane when you
It's a
think about
great card.
Chi-Chi's current run form.
Another great card and a pretty low key great card, if
Mhm.
that makes sense. I mean,
You're gonna have to pay attention.
compared to having 4 of the best wrestlers in the world, period, in a tag team match that was the best match of the year. Still, um, this is a pretty low key card, but it's still really awesome. like all the matchups are like cool and like kind of like intriguing, and they make you make you think for a second. Because
Mhm.
like I said, like Ito and Bozilla, I know that nobody likes Karo Ito, but that is a bizarre pairing to book that it's like I kind of want to see that car crash. That's interesting. I don't know what the fuck Sareee was thinking with that, but go off. You know what I mean? I think that's Saree's specialty. It's just she's the most cracked booker imaginable, really. Because like, what the fuck
Yes.
are these matches? But they're awesome. And
She keeps it fresh somehow.
even if all of them are bad and they don't click, she's wrestling Mako.
Yeah.
So like, it don't matter.
Um, on other Marigold stuff, see, there was a Rossy Ogawa column that got a lot of translations. And it's one of those where you read it and you're like, "Oh, there's loads that he said," and then you actually read it and you're like, "Oh, he said nothing."
Yeah,
But he did imply that wrestlers who join Marigold are being paid more than their previous promotions, and
I don't think that was the full implication, but yes,
that he wants to remain competitive in terms
yeah.
of pay with Stardom. Um, that
I
could
feel
mean many
like
things because he could just mean with like the merch payments, they're being paid more, or maybe he's paying a higher base salary and lower bonuses. Like, there's a lot of ways to structure a contract. He
Mhm.
may not be lying, but he might not be fully telling the truth either.
And I think contextually, he said that nobody got downgraded from their previous
Right.
contract,
Okay.
which like I think is not shocking. Like I think that makes sense.
Yeah, when you
I
consider
think
a lot of
I
them
think
are still
someone
new.
I think someone like Utami is probably getting paid the same exact amount,
Yeah.
but she wanted to be able to take indie dates and she wanted to just be in a more low key company in general. Like I think that was really, and she obviously was loyal to Rossi, but I think that was a big part of it. Is that she's kind of wanted to be a bit more low key in her wrestling, and I imagine she gets paid pretty much the same as she did in Stardom. Um, but then you look at a Yuzuki. Historically, rookies get paid like dirt. So
Mhm.
even if he was just like, I will give you $100 extra, and I will, you know, that's still an upgrade because rookies get paid nothing in Stardom, um, both now and historically. So it's not a shocker for most cases, and all of the actress girls weren't getting paid. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's why, like, I don't think he's lying because nobody is, like, 10 years in.
people jumping to him lying. I was like, I don't think he's lying. I think it's just like you aren't thinking about it
You
in
can
a
get creative with this sort of stuff because I
yeah.
remember, like, the ice ribbon stuff. The ice ribbon thing was, oh, the Neo Plus took it back over and they slashed salaries in third. And when you read into the details, they slashed the base salary, but they
Mhm.
pay bonuses and let them take dates, whereas the other guy paying them didn't. So it's like, yeah, they like he tripled the salaries, but it's completely the same with Neo Plus now. Like
Realistically, yeah.
in actuality. So you can get very clever with like finance stuff. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting that he like was like, yeah, I want to remain competitive. I
Well, and I
don't
think but I think that's a big point of discussion is that it's like everybody's like, oh, why would anybody leave Stardom to go to Marigold? They can't pay you, and he's like, we can, we can, we could pay you pretty much the same amount. We're not going to pay you a shit ton more, but we could pay pretty much similar wages there, and I think that's important to
yes,
say in that
definitely.
sense.
The only other kind of main things he said he expects Bozilla to go to a big promotion in the near future, which I'm surprised she wasn't WWE ID'd already. Although they seem
Yeah,
to only be IDing random men now after the two women. He says that she has a year visa, so she is sticking around through
May,
first stream
yeah,
and beyond, which I think is kind of interesting. I thought maybe the Sareee thing was the end of her run, but if he has her for another 5 or 6 months, he can get a lot of use out of that. Maybe a
hmm
tag run, maybe building her up to put somebody over. Somebody like that he wants to get into a main eventer, like a Koki or a Chica.
He
Somebody
also
who's ready to
mentioned
take that step.
something we have been talking about a lot over the months is that he definitely wanted to book Megan Bain versus Bozilla.
Yes, he was like, I want to do Megan Bain and Bozilla at Sumo Hall, and I just went, you know what, that is totally valid.
Yeah, the fuck,
Yeah.
man. We talked about in our group chat that it's like financially it makes sense for Megan Bain to just soft retire, um, given her other profits. But man, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
She's got
Just
to do that
man,
love of the game run. I need more Americans to just like get with it and do love of the game.
if only,
Um,
if only.
but yeah, that's the interview. I know there was another part to it. I think he might have dug into it, but it wasn't sent to the Discord, so I don't have it. I don't even know who translated it, so I'm not much help. Let's see what else. There's nothing else. It's just the Corkin. All right. So we have one show to review for Marigold Winter Wonderful Fight. This is on the 14th of November, and they announced an attendance of 715 fans. They continue to be very insistent that they are doing 700s at Corkin, and I am not willing to count
To be
to
fair,
disprove them,
I think this one was a more legitimate 700 than the previous ones because it felt more full than
potentially.
previous ones, personally. At
Who
least the way
knows?
I watched it and viewed it. But yeah,
Um, let's see.
I don't I don't think it's a bad number for them. Like I think as long as they clear 700 consistently, that's fine. It's once they start dipping below that, then it becomes a real problem. Because obviously you want to
Yeah,
hit 800 in Corkin. I think is like kind of where everybody wants to be is to consistently do over 800. But like I don't know. Given where they're at as a company right now, I think them clearing 700 is good enough, and I hope that they are clearing 700.
yeah. I mean, even 600s isn't the worst thing in the world.
Certainly not.
Doing that once a month is not easy.
Yeah, and they have a
I
lot
don't see
more.
anybody
That's
else
the other
doing it.
thing
So,
is that
well, obviously
he's
Stardom does
got
it, but
all the
that's a
choreographers.
different. Stardom's way ahead. That's not. That's not.
Yes.
That's not even in the conversation. But yeah, like the main Marigold competition is not doing 600 at Corkin every month. So yeah, it is what it is. In the opener, Hummingbird beat Naho Yamada in 8 minutes. I
I think
said
I have
last week
notes
this
for
was a
this.
real. I
Okay,
said
go
this
ahead.
was a real test for Hummingbird. That if she didn't deliver with Naho, she was a lost cause. She did deliver.
Yeah.
I think she went from a 1 out of 10 to 3 out of 10. Naho is incredible. Like she is so versatile. I've yet to see her have a bad match in Marigold. She is such a key signing for them. They really need more people like Naho who can just get in there and deliver. And yeah, I think Hummingbird. Very unsure of Hummingbird, but if she keeps improving, then that's all we need.
Hummingbird's just a strange wrestler. Uh, I said it a few weeks ago. She has 6 moves and she sells,
Yeah,
and
somebody
that's
asked
it.
me about her in Discord. They were like, "How's she doing?" And I was like, "She doesn't do anything." Like I watched the
No,
tag,
she
and she just
doesn't.
sold stomps and tagged out, and I have no idea like what the point
Yeah,
is.
I'm still waiting for her to do wrestling moves. But the 5 or 6 she does do, she has gotten better at. You know, the lowdown is better now. Um, I do really like her Suzuki armbar over the rope. I think that's a awesome spot. Like she does a couple key things that she's doing well, especially now she's gotten better at them and they're a bit better placed. I'm just waiting for her to do, moves otherwise.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Like it feels so strange that she doesn't do it, like she doesn't stomp, there's no she doesn't do things and I'm very
No.
confused about it.
It is interesting, especially because she does that one kick to the face, and you're like, you should
Yeah.
do more of those. Maybe you could do
Yeah,
some
like
really cool
you
ones.
could do more kick based offense or you can do more technical like it's like she's a video game character that is like starting
Yeah.
and she has her four moves that she's allowed to do and she has to upgrade, but she just can't get the in-game currency to upgrade, so she's just there. You know what I mean? There's just nothing, and it's like you could like do some more, right? But I don't think she knows that yet.
No, not yet. In our next match, Minami Yuki beat Rhea Seto in 5 minutes.
She what? I did not watch this. I didn't know that was the result.
Yeah, I was surprised because they seem to kind of like Rhea most of the time.
Oh,
I
Rhea
thought
is
she,
better.
yeah, no, Rhea is good. I think Minami Yuki is still very intriguing. And Rhea kind of really carried her here.
Mm.
Like the only thing I can think is if Minami Yuki won because they're gonna like use her to put over one of the other debutantes. You know, she can like lose to Tachibana
Potentially.
or the other one, and then they look good coming out of it. So that's the only real lead I have there. But yeah, Minami Yuki, she's fine, maybe.
She's getting better,
Yeah,
from what I can
kind
tell,
of.
footwork wise at least.
Footwork, yes. Like the Anna J return to AEW. Is look at her footwork, man. Like,
Oh, you want to know something real funny?
yeah,
I watched Anna Jay versus Mariah May in the hotel room because it was on cable.
right.
Um, and my mom hated it. She thought they sucked.
That's really funny. That is so funny. She wasn't here for the
Yeah.
blunder, no.
No, well, because I've showed her some Yoshi stuff, and she's like, these girls can shit in comparison. The fuck? Because I
Wow.
watched Queen of Villains with my mom, and so I got her to watch a couple like actual '80s matches, which was a bad idea
Oh, I
because
see.
now
Yeah,
she's
she's
she's been
seen the peak.
spoiled. Yeah, it's peak wrestling, so now it's
So
like
funny.
other shit's bad. Which I
That was
mean, the match wasn't
incredible.
good. Don't get me wrong, the match wasn't good, but yeah, she was like, "This isn't this." Because yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
when you're watching '80s Joshi and FWC matches, uh, comparably, no.
No, no. I don't think I've seen an AW women's match in weeks. Like it just completely fell off my radar.
That's what I mean. I haven't watched AEW at all, but it was on cable, so I watched them, and it was.
That's fair.
Oof.
Our next match was Bozilla and Mila Grace beating Komomo Minami and Misa Matsui in 9 minutes. I thought Bozilla and Misa did some good stuff here.
Mhm.
Again, I was impressed by Mila Grace. I actually thought Komomo Minami had a good showing. I think she's
Oh wait, yeah,
definitely
Kamau Manami's
projecting a lot
getting better.
better. Yes,
Yuki
definitely.
isn't necessarily getting better, but Kamau Manami is definitely getting better. She's showing more personality. She's
Yeah,
just getting better in ring, just generally. She just feels like she reminds me of the Gaia girl. Honestly,
the
Marigold is
Gaia
starting.
girl.
Yeah, the one who got abused. Um,
Yes,
but is it Saki? No, I forget what her name was.
I think it is
Somebody's gonna get upset
Saki
with me.
something.
Like Seiki something. Yeah.
Seiki. Yeah,
Um, but she reminds me of her, where it's like after a certain point, she started showing like a real funny dynamic with like Sakura Road and whatnot. But that's where Kamo Minami feels like. I hope she didn't, get concussed 6 times by Mako Satomura during her training, though.
I would hope not. Otherwise, we'd have
Yeah,
to
I don't
ask
know
some
why Mako would
questions.
come in here, but
Yeah.
like just
Like, how the fuck did you get
she's
Mako?
come just does a run in in the LPW dojo and kills her, and then dips. No,
That's insane.
but yeah, in a strange way, Marigold is kind of reminding me of a certain year in Gaia, like I think it was '96 right now, like an early
It's
year of Gaia.
quite the comparison.
Yeah,
I think
I know.
that is quite the statement. One of them had
Certain
Nagayo,
vibes,
bully
but
Nagayo
that is
at
that
like
is
one
the
of her most
problem.
entertaining.
It is Gaio without a Nagayo. That is which is like, what is that? It's Marigold.
Okay, all right. But Brazil and Mila are a good team. I like them. I said this
Yeah,
last
they're
week.
alright.
I hope they get like a Shinkiba face or a Shinjuku face challenge for the tag belts.
Mm.
Um, like I think Mila Grace deserves a title shot for how much she's improved,
I'm
and
shocked she
it's either
hasn't
that or the
gotten one.
Superfly. I know, right? Like Rossy used to love that. He would just be like, "All right, you white, go ahead, challenge in Shinkiba." That
Yeah,
was
but I
it.
guess
Io Shirai
she's
stat padded like
around.
fuck against these foreign wrestlers.
She's probably around for at least another month or two.
Yeah, maybe.
From Mila at least. So I imagine she gets a challenge before then. I am interested in what we're doing with the Superfly belt because I feel like we haven't gone through everybody, but
I
like
think they're just waiting for Yuzuki.
It's
Honestly.
Nori and Mila are the two that I'm kind of waiting on. I'm just like, why haven't
Yeah.
we ran this yet? But we shall see.
It might wait for Nori for Yuzuki to win it, but we'll have to see.
Hmm.
Speaking of Yuzuki, she was in our next match. Chiaki and Nagisa Nozaki beat Kazuna Tanaka and Victoria Yuzuki in 11 and a half minutes. Big win for the Dark Wolf Army. I actually enjoyed Kazuna in this match, and I enjoyed everybody else.
It's
So
funny because
good.
I thought that she was relatively tame in this one. Like I didn't think she was particularly a standout, uh, which is hilarious given
Yes.
given how you feel. But yeah, I mean her and Nozaki do work very well together.
Mhm.
I think did did I get to talk about? I wasn't here last week. I forget if it was last week that I felt this way, but I was watching Nozaki, and I was just like, it's crazy. People think she's bad. Like
Yeah.
she's so good. I
Mhm.
she's so good.
Good.
And yeah, it was a good match. I like Dark Wolf Army, as everybody knows. Celine Flora also good. I thought this could have been better. You know, I mean, like I think they had more
Yeah, it's weird because
in them, but it's just a
these are
nothing
obviously two
match
of the
really. So
main
I didn't
teams
blame
for the
them.
Twin Star, so you'd imagine
Yeah,
they're holding everything back for a future title match, you know?
that's probably
Um,
it. That's what I mean. Is that it's like it was a good match, but I felt like they definitely had a grander match in them that they
yeah.
didn't really deliver on.
I could see Chiaki and Nagisa challenging next month because they do have a Korakuen next month again, like on the
They have a
26th.
Korakuen next
So
month. I thought they only had a Shinkiba
e- everybody tells me something
or
different. Some people are saying Shinjuku
face.
face, some people are saying Korakuen, and I'm pretty sure it's two faces and one Korakuen next month. So
That's awesome.
that's what I think is happening.
I know that Saree's doing the Nanai match in face, isn't she?
Face, yeah. They
Yeah,
haven't said which one
that's
of those. I'd
that's
imagine
so
it's the
real.
first one. But
But no,
yeah, there's two
you bring
face
that up.
and
I think they will do that on the like year-end Korakuen
mhm.
because obviously, as we learn later, my Sakurai is challenging at first stream, and everybody's kind of had Mirai earmarked
Is her or
um
my for the Sareee.
for the Sareee match. Yeah, so I imagine that they're both occupied. So getting them one more title defense, whether they win it or lose it before the year's up, is probably for the best.
Definitely. And yeah, Chiaki and Nagisa are primed for a
Yeah.
spot there. Speaking of our Twin Star champions, they were in the next match. Mirai and Mai Sakurai wrestled to a 30-minute time limit draw with Koki and Utami Hayashishita. Um, I thought it was a great match. Don't get
Hmm.
me wrong. I think everybody went crazy. Utami wrestling out of her mind. Her and Mirai are
Always.
insane together. Koki is so good nowadays. Like for a 30-minute match, I thought they did great. I was very disappointed by the finish because you know me, I'm always like, just do a result, tell a story with it. You know, Ross is usually better at that sort of stuff. Like
I think he was locked with this one. I don't think
he
there's
was.
after
That's why
Koki
I
won
was
the GHC, I
really
was like, there's no way
yeah.
that anybody
This is
can
why I
win
had a lot of
this.
questions about that GHC. I was like, Koki as a champion in an already thin upper card, like you were really handcuffing yourself with this.
Because like unless they were running Mirai versus Koki in a title match, this was gonna go to a draw.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I was impressed with how well they did 30,
yeah, for sure.
especially non-Utami wrestlers in this match. You know, what I mean, like the three of them, I was really impressed by that. Um, I wasn't as crazy about this as everybody else was. I ran it
Really,
a 7.5. I thought it was very good.
you
Like
know that's fair. It's an 8 on
that's a
Cage
high
Match.
end. Yeah, like it's a high end and it's a one of the better matches of the weekend for
Mm.
sure. But it wasn't as I wasn't as captivated by it, partially because I watched it yesterday. I mean, it happened a week
Okay,
ago.
that's fair.
So
Yeah.
like I tried to stay off the internet for it, but I just had no time to watch it last week because I really wanted to see it as soon as possible.
Mhm.
But yeah, I thought it was really really good, uh, nearing on legitimately great, but it was long, and while
Mhm.
they made good use of that 30 minutes, it was still long, and I would have loved to finish as well. I understand why they didn't, why they went to a draw. As you know, I don't really take it personally when like I don't get that upset when they run a time limit. I think in wrestling, time limit draws make a ton of sense. Just like if you can't get a finish, you end in a draw. Forehead. Like that's how that works. So I don't really have any ill will towards draws, but given the way this match was paced, I felt like they couldn't ever get to the point that they needed to with a draw finish.
Mm.
Like there was never that like real moment near the end that I think they needed in this match to be a truly great tag team match. Um, I did really like it though. I thought that Mai and Utami being a high level pairing is such a strange thing to me still, but they just are, and they work together super well. Koki works really well with Mirai especially, and her and Mai Sakura is pretty good as well. And like you said, Utami Mirai is one of the most surefire pairings in this company. So yeah, really enjoyed it, but I do think there was a ceiling on it in certain aspects, and one of which was obviously the 30-minute time limit draw.
All right.
So
After the match, then Koki, Gochika was on the show. She didn't wrestle, but they had her all over the
she
show.
was the MC
Um,
to start, and then
yes,
she came
they
out.
panned to her before this match in a very Tam Road esque manner. This is full Tam Nakano playbook,
But this
and
is
she was
very
looking
simple.
on.
I will say I do think that, and we'll talk about it later. I do think that hey, we knew each other like 10 years ago, homie. Let's fight. I think that like lore is a bit less captivating than hey, I'm injured. I'm gonna go out. Tag partner, you do what you do, and then tag partner immediately replaces you. I think like it's Edge and Jericho. You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
that was
Oh
what
yeah.
that was. It was Edge and Jericho. Um and like, I think that worked, and I really liked the gimmick, but you can set it up. I interrupted.
Yeah, so Koki challenged Gochka for a GHC title match, and they panned to Gochka before the match. She wasn't very happy. She was clearly upset at everything that was happening here, and then Koki challenged her. So we know at the very least that Gochka will be back soon. They made it. They basically said we're doing this a first stream, so we have most of the first stream card after this. Um, yeah, I saw that collision course coming. I thought they would do a singles match. I'm surprised it's at Ota Ward,
Mm.
but I can see
I
why
thought
they
they were
want
gonna.
the
I could have.
GHC belt on there.
Yeah, I thought they would have gone. Uh, Noah New Year. I'm shocked
Yeah.
they aren't doing that, but I don't mind it. Um, Yeah, I'm happy with the match. I will say it was very funny because at a certain point in the match, because the way that the lights were set up at Korakuen, you could see the silhouettes of Gochika and Rhea Seto watching from the corner. Um, and it was very funny. Like they were just like, because Rhea Seto obviously has the hair, and it's very clear when it's her, and Chikagoto's like a foot taller than her. But yeah, so I'm happy with it. I like Chikagoto and Koki. I think that's a good match to run. um Xavi immediately was like, "That's what we're doing," and I was like, "I don't know. I think they should probably do like Mirai or something." He's like, "Shut the fuck up. Go Chica's getting her time in the sun, baby," and he was
Crazy.
right. So good for him. Good for the Go Chica lovers, including me, for the love of Go Chica. I think that'll be a fun match. I am shocked they're doing
Indeed.
it then. Uh,
Yeah, I guess they needed a fourth big match because that's probably number four, right? Like you've got um Dario Utami, you've got the or the United National title match,
mhm,
you've got Saree's debut, and then you've got that, and it's kind of a lot of
yeah,
his key players in big matches. So I think that's
true.
rounding out the top end of the card anyway. Speaking of the United National title, Ike Ono beat Natsumi Suzuki in 13 minutes in a really fun sprint match. Um, Honestly, I feel like this is one that will age better every time I watch it, it feels like a fine
Mm.
wine kind of match. Like it was just they did so much in 13 minutes that I was like, I'm gonna watch this again someday. And it is going to hit like crack.
I do imagine that this will be a match. I think this was where I started thinking like, this company kind of reminds me of Gaia, where it's like you will find a match from Gaia that is rated 6.5. I mean, whatever, and you watch it and it's just like so great, and you're just like, who the fuck was like am I the only person who recognizes how great this is? Because I thought this was like very good but not great. um but I agree, I think it over time it'll be one that kind of grows on you, and I think somebody who's watching this match a year from now, 2 years from now, will be like, damn, that was killer, what I mean?
Mm,
But I think in the moment, especially sandwiched between the two matches that I had sandwiched between, um it looked a bit less than, and I thought the pacing was a bit strange, which is kind of just a thing
I
sometimes with
guess.
Miku matches. But I liked it a lot though. I thought that the kicks went crazy, the kick fight, um, and I just thought it was a lot of fun. I like the fuck you clover leaf too for the finish.
Oh yeah, that's great. Um, After this match, Mai Sakurai showed up to challenge Miku Iono, and that's a match but they basically set that up when Iono won the belt. She was like, "I have two people in mind that I want to wrestle for this belt." I can't remember the first name. I think it
Coachco.
was Koki.
No, it was
Oh,
Coachco.
okay, because so that one didn't happen.
No.
And then she said, and also Mai Sakurai, and then they had the draw in the GP, didn't they? And I just kind
Yes.
of went, that is our big white belt match soon. So very excited for that. That is also on first stream, and I could see Mai Sakurai winning, especially if
Yeah.
her and Mirai drop the twin stars.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know for sure. It's a great match because I don't really know who's gonna win it, and I rock with that. You know what I mean?
There was
Like
something
it would
about
feel strange
Iona.
if my lost, but also is there? Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if like I think by the time the finish happens, I will understand why they did it, whichever way it goes.
Yes. Yeah, I think they'll do really well. On Miko Ono, Rossi did mention her in his interview, and he said like she's not the leader type, which I think is interesting for somebody that he's given a lot to. I don't know if that means he's soured on her or what, or maybe he just sees her as a perfect like white belt person who will carry their people to greatness. Um,
Which
yeah,
I
I
could
could
see that.
maybe see him going with Mai Sakurai after this.
Yeah,
I know.
Miku's defended the belt how many times? Koki, Nozaki, this. Has she defended it?
Three.
Is there a fourth?
No.
Yeah, so I mean, her losing in four defenses doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, I think that's
I,
one of the things that I'm interested in with Marigold is I think we got really used to him doing those big V8s, V10s
mhm.
towards the end of his stardom run. I mean, Syuri and Utami held the belt for a year back to back. I don't expect he's going to do that. I think he's going to throw both of the belts around a little bit more.
I think I'm
Um,
interested to see how he's grown as a booker, because I do think that's one thing about Rossi that was always kind of a bit strange, was he did it very NXT style, or back in the day NXT style, where it's like there weren't many two-time champions ever.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, what do you do if you're not Io Shirai after you win a top title?
Hmm.
Just hang out, you know what I mean? So, like, I think by doing shorter reigns, reigns that go to 5, you know what I mean? Maybe some go to 8 or 10, like, maybe there's, like, that's, like, a big deal, but if you do shorter range, you can also allow yourself to go back to certain wrestlers, right? Because like, what has Utami been doing for the past however many years? She
Nothing.
she should realistically have, you know, more title reigns to her. So I don't know. I think that comes into like the philosophy of booking, because you look at Noah has like the anniversary issue with Kaito having like 10 reigns, and they don't know what to do with Kaito except for put the belt on him. So it's like you get the belt again. So, like that is like it's a balancing act, but I am interested in seeing what the what the measuring stick is for title reigns. Because yeah, I mean, like Sareee might lose the belt to Utami, and that's
Yeah,
two
on
defenses.
V3. Like
Yeah,
that's
that would be
crazy.
an unsuccessful V3. So we'll see with that type of thing.
Yeah, fascinating to see. They presented three different rookies after this. We touched on this last week. They announced it in advance. It was Sareee and the two idol girls who came over with Minami Yuki. Sareee
Ryoka
has a lot of
and
presence
Tachibana.
already. Sareee, I saw a picture of her and I went, she is yoked. Let's
Yes,
get
she
it.
is.
So yeah, Sareee has a lot of presence already. They didn't say when any of them were going to debut. Obviously, we know Saree's debuting her first stream. They didn't say anything about the other two though.
No, they did not. I imagine they'll probably debut like Shinjuku or something. They don't have. They only have like two more shows this month, so we're kind of waiting for December in a lot of aspects.
Yeah, I could see them either like spacing them out for the face shows, or maybe just having them debuting as a big selling point for the Korakuen. You know, I don't know how much that would sell, but they are idols, so they must have a fan base somewhere. So maybe I don't know. Um, our main event then of the show was Sareee beating now Ishikawa in just under 11 minutes. This was very one-sided. Sareee beat the brakes off of her.
I fucking
Um,
love this though.
Yes. Oh yeah, for sure. This is what I wanted. I wanted more of a one-sided match. I wanted Sareee to just be better than now, and she just was. Just from the start, she just like plowed through her, and it was fantastic. The crowd loved both of them, so I think they did their job.
Yeah, no, I thought this was tremendous. Now it got cooked. Um, I think Sari just has that dog in her. Frankly, I mean, we say it every week basically, but she's just tremendous. And I really liked all of the now comebacks. Even though they didn't usually last long. In fact, I think one of them probably should have lasted shorter. But I thought that she was just really good. Just kind of like I don't know. I think this is a hard match to do. I think doing a successful main event squash that like doesn't just make Naoshikawa look like a complete goof is difficult. And I don't think that she looked completely bad in this. I think she looked pretty good in a like as good as somebody getting squashed can. Um, because it felt like she was there for it. I mean, Sari even said that your boldness needs to be as you know you have to be as strong as you are bold because I'll just kill you every time, basically, which
Yeah.
is like a perfect thing for Sari to say now. But like, and I think that was the story of the match. I thought they told that perfectly. Is that now she will slap the shit out of Sari. She shouldn't because she dies as a result. But like, I thought that was a really cool story to tell, and I really appreciated what they did here. I really loved this match. Among my favorite matches of the night, it was super fun.
Wow. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Obviously, this is what I was asking for. Even the finish where she pointed directly at Nanai and hit the Uranagi, perfect. Like that is exactly what I
It
wanted.
was like an American Psycho. You know what I mean?
Yes, like this is
You're
all I
next.
need. Um, and I think Sari is one of the few people who can pull this off, where she is just a freight train who
Mm.
blasts through somebody. And now is I think the perfect counter to that because the crowd really likes her. I think a lot of people they could have like muted the crowd, but the crowd is really into now and really into rooting for her. So I think these two were the perfect ones to do it, and I think they did it really well. I want to see more risks like this from Japanese companies, and if Marigold is the company to do it, then that's great. I said recently after Lady C and Rena or Hina went like 14 minutes with the tag champions, I was like, sometimes it's okay for people to just not be good in canon.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just suck, and
Like I
that's
said,
okay.
this entire show just reminded me of like a Gaia show. I know
Yes,
this is
because
gonna
Nagaya
not
was
make a
all
lot of
about her
sense.
rookies getting fucking killed.
Yeah, yeah,
They got
exactly. Like
murdered.
this felt like a match right out of it was Sari being one of the 10
Devil, Devil
great
Masami.
yeah, being exactly, being a Devil Masami and now being fucking Toshi Uematsu or Nagashima, like just being somebody who's really cool and really good at wrestling, but is not as good as fucking Devil
Mhm.
Masami. And that was what this match was, and I really appreciate it for that. Because again, I was looking at this match as well, and I was like, someday we're gonna look back at like this match, and it'll be like such a cool time capsule of a match because it's like, you look at Nanai on the outside. It was just all set up perfectly. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just from a
I
story
noticed
standpoint, you can capture
Nanai
it and you can enjoy it.
Nanai's hair is very reminiscent of like late seedling era, and I was
Mm.
like, she's going to absolutely brain Sareee. If she's got the seedling hair back out, oh my god, she's gonna kill somebody.
I think she's ready. I think Nanai's ready for this match. I think Shinjuku face is the perfect place for it, and I'm just super excited. I love that Saree's like, you know what? I don't want to break your neck again, so I'm not gonna hit you with the Uranagi. I'm gonna
She
beat
is
you.
so
I'm gonna beat you with something
badass.
else. I
I
think
love
that's so
Sareee
cool.
so much.
I just think she's tremendous, man. Like I love Utami, and if Utami wins the belt, I will be rooting for her, and I'll be super happy for her, and I'll be ready for that Utami run. But I'm gonna miss Sari being world champion in Marigold, if that does happen, because she's
Yeah.
just so good.
If we're being honest, she's one of the main selling points to this promotion.
As
And
of now, yeah,
they're
definitely.
they're doing something with her that to an extent Seedling is doing, but
And I mean,
Seedling doesn't have the depth to support it at the
to
same
be
time.
fair, like Rossi loves Sari. Like that is
Who doesn't?
very clear.
She's a natural.
Yes, but he like I still think about the Bozilla match. I have not seen Rossi so happy after a
Yeah,
match as seeing Sari bleeding and just smiling at him like, "How's it going? Thanks for the bell." Like
incredible.
like I think if he could sign her, he would. Obviously he can't, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to keep her as long as possible.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people who are like, when she drops the belt, she's probably leaving, and she might get phased out to a degree, but I think he very much really likes Seri and
Mm.
will want her in the ecosystem, especially if he does get Mayu. I don't see him turning down the chance to do Mayu Sari again. He would be stupid not to. So even that's a
Or hear
match
me
that
out, hear me out. Heel Mayu, not really heel, but fucking badass veteran Mayu, team 2011, killing everybody. Thoughts? Thoughts? Just
that is too ballsy for anybody to do these
yes.
days.
I mean, how do you beat them? But
You
also,
don't.
why would you beat them?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You
you don't
don't.
have to.
Great. But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I think she's a real. She, she's doing something special this year, and Marigold has been a big part of that. So
Mm.
thankful for Marigold for that. And that was the Corkin. It was probably their most muted Corkin so far. Like it
Yeah,
just kind of came and went. I didn't even watch it live. I had to go to the shopping. I had to
it
go do
was very
shopping,
funny.
and I was just like, sure, you know,
Because the day
nobody talked about it.
after the day after I it happened, I was like staying off Twitter because I didn't want to, get spoiled because I didn't get to watch it, and I was moving, so I didn't get to watch it. Um, and then the next day, I realized that I was like, wait, like I don't think anybody's talking about it, really. Because anywhere
You
that I
don't.
would accidentally see it, I'm not accidentally seeing it. So okay, and so I just went on Twitter and I was fine.
It is kind of now maybe the Nanai match not going ahead hurt it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, even I just was like, I didn't see much about it. The only reason I knew the finish of the Twin Star match is because two people messaged me like, he did a fucking draw. And I was like, ah, yes. Um, so yeah, I don't. It was an interesting one there to see. Um, this coming weekend, there is one Marigold show. They're kind of on a break for the next couple of weeks. They're only running twice for the rest of November. And this weekend they are in Utsunomiya, which is maybe one of our favorite places, to say that sarcastically. Um, in our opener, Miko Aono and Naho
Oh,
Yamada
I
takes
remember it.
on
I remember that
Natsumi
place.
uh-huh. Natsumi Suzuki and Hummingbird. So that's fun. Iono probably wins there. Then we have Now Ishikawa versus Minami Yuki. That's a Now Ishikawa victory, I would hope.
Sorry, somebody
Yes.
just texted me something and
Oh,
I lost my train of thought.
that's fair.
Um, that's yeah. What was the match?
Now Ishikawa and Minami Yuki.
uh, Now's
Yeah,
winning. Now should win. Yeah, now
yes,
can win
that's what I
now.
was saying. She should
Yeah,
win. We
she
have a
even beat
three-way.
Nozaki technically.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, that was the match. That was the match that I was like, she's so good. Like this is ridiculous. Yeah,
That's
go
fair.
on.
We have a three-way match: Misa Matsui versus Komomo Minami versus Rhea Seto. It's probably a Matsui win. If
I
not,
would
she should
think
start
so.
worrying.
Yeah.
We have this is one of my bugbears with Marigold. They keep running what should be twin star title matches randomly because they're running Utami and Koki versus Victoria Uzuki and Kazuna Tanaka. And that's going to go to a draw. That is a
It is.
guaranteed
Well,
15-minute time limit draw.
not necessarily. Kazuna's losing now.
That's true, but they'll run this as a draw just in case Rossy ever decides to run it for the titles.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why? And why are you doing this so often? But this is where we're at. And it's
So
yeah, I
soon
would imagine it's going
it's
to a draw.
soon or wherever the fuck it is. Yeah.
It's on Amiya. Yeah.
It's in Amiya. Yeah.
Um, I wonder who pairs off with who. That's kind of my only intrigue. Because it
Um.
Utami Yuzuki?
It's. I think it's Utami Yuzuki.
Yeah, that makes
I think they
sense.
give. I think if anything, they'll give Koki the win over Kazuna if it doesn't go to a draw.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if not, I think they'll probably do the Utami Yuzuki draw. Where they're
Mm,
kind of like 50-50 it.
that's fair. Now another sign that we're probably getting Dark Wolf Army challenging for the belts. Our main event is Nagisa Nozaki, Chiaki, and Bozilla versus Mirai, Mai Sakurai, and Mila Grace. I could see Nozaki pinning like Mila and then
Hmm.
challenging, or unless
I
they just
wonder.
job Chiaki, which they
No,
might
I
kind
think
of do it.
that's what I'm thinking is, do they run Chiaki and Nozaki for the belts, or do they run Nozaki and Bozilla for the belts?
See, I guess it
Because
depends.
one of those
I think,
teams is gonna win.
yeah. See, I think they might win
See,
to free
then
up my Sakurai for the white belt.
I think they might run Bozilla and Nozaki, and just give them
No,
like a
I think
1 defense
Chiaki is the
reign.
one that wins.
I don't know. I don't think they are viewing Chiaki
See,
as somebody they want to
And
protect
Nozaki,
anytime soon.
Chiaki and Nozaki can cheat and then drop on V2.
Yeah, that's true. They could
So
drop very
I'm
early.
seeing them as a very short term reign, but I think they can do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I mean, I'm down with either. I love Chiaki, as everybody knows. I like Dark Wolf Army in general. I think they're really
Yeah,
cool. So I'm cool with any pairing of them. But yeah, I think Nozaki probably gets the win over. I think
Mila.
Nozaki probably beats Mila, and then I think in the title match, Nozaki beats Mirai.
Oh yes, I would like that.
I
Just to
think that
build off
plays
their
into. I think that
aggression.
plays into the grudge at the end of the Dreamstar.
Hmm. I'm into it. I'm into it. And that's everything for Marigold, as far as I can tell. I don't think they have any news or anything to go through. Yeah, their next show after that is on the 28th, which is the following
Nine
Thursday.
days
Yeah,
from now.
so
Yeah.
we'll be fine. We'll get that in. It's not a big show anyway. It's another house show. It is in Tobu. That's a new one even to me.
Where?
Tobu. Tobu Friend Hall,
Tobu.
apparently. Don't know if that's the
Tobu
venue.
Pan. Hofu. Wait, is it Hofu?
It says Tobu, but that might be a
Tobu. Yeah, I
translation
thought you were saying
issue. Tobu. Like
Tobu,
tofu with a
Japan.
B. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
I'm not. Oh, Tobu World Square. Okay, I'm seeing things.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Um,
we're all waiting with bated breath to see. It's at 6:30 in the evening too. They're making people enter out in the dark. So that's fun.
yeah, I
Um,
think that's the venue because this is not.
Probably is, yeah.
This is
Tobu.
just
It
a
says
place.
Tobu Friend Hall, but I don't. It doesn't matter. No, like, nobody's gonna watch this show. Um, that's all from Marigold, though. Nice little week if you're a fan like us, but probably didn't capture the imagination for many. Um, and then we get on to Stardom. Ooh,
That we do.
Stardom. Stardom has had a match made official for the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom 19. Mayu Iwatani will defend the IWGP Women's Championship against Azumi. Um,
That is a match that is happening.
yes. Now, I am kind of upset because this is the Tokyo Dome. It is a Gato show. It's getting max 10 minutes, 5 for entrances, 10 for the wrestling. And yeah, it's something, I guess.
Yeah.
Bad for Mayu.
I don't know.
I mean, I think she really has wanted a singles match at the Dome since she did the tag that one time. So I think she's really wanted this. So I am happy for her. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
but
this won't be.
I know people hate when I get all conspiracy theorist around here, but how much do you want to bet that this is like their last big push to try to get her to resign?
I
And
think
then
it's
they give her
done.
10 minutes.
I think they know.
And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm good." Like, I think this is like the pushing of her political power with her contract, and I think it works. I think her and Azumi work because they're her and Azumi. They can run a
Yes.
10-minute match and it'll click. Um, and I don't need much more than 10 minutes. I mean, look at the match we just talked about. Shizuki versus Miku, right? That was 12
Yeah.
minutes,
13.
13 minutes. Give them 10 minutes straight up and it works. I mean, I don't think there needs
Yeah.
to be much more. And I don't think I'm more questioning what the fuck we're doing with the belt.
Um.
Because I could have swore that Tam was
Yeah.
just going to win it.
She might still. I could.
You know what they could do?
What?
And I wouldn't be surprised because it'd be a very New Japan thing of them to do. They either bring out Mercedes or Tam to challenge the winner of Mayu Izumi. In fact, I think it would probably be Mercedes though. Uh, to challenge the winner at Dynasty.
Mm, that's only a
Because
day's
Mercedes,
notice, though.
he, well, no, not on the day of. I think Mercedes will probably like call in and be like, "I'm challenging whoever wins that match next day." They're gonna do a
Mm.
Ricochet,
Yeah, I mean,
except better, obviously.
I have thought that they would triple crown Mercedes. That's kind of been my
I don't
thought
think they
for a
need
while.
to, but I'm trying to figure out how they get this belt off of Mayu at this
They might
point.
see Stardom's anniversary is in February. They might put Tam over there, like the big anniversary show. Tam beats Mayu.
Is that 15 years or 14 years?
14. Yes,
Mm.
it's 2011. So,
Yes. I forget that they started training in 2010, but they all debuted in 2011.
mhm.
Um, yeah, no, I mean, uh, that's possible.
It's
I'm
certainly
not for
not
sure
going
though.
to Azumi. I think we can all agree on that.
No, which is
Azumi is
why I'm
not
kind
beating
of like,
Mayu for this belt.
okay, so what are we doing? Like, who, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. With Azumi, everybody knows that. I mean, she's still one of my favorite wrestlers in the world, very easily.
Mhm.
But everything just feels so hopeless with her
Right.
that I'm just
Um,
like,
she's
like, why
she's
should
really
I?
interested me because half the time in tag league she looks like she would rather be anywhere else. Like she
Yeah,
just
that's what I mean.
doesn't
And
give a
and
shit.
I do not blame her, but I worry we're going down a bad road if, especially if she stays in Stardom, because like I think about it,
I don't
and
think she gets
obviously
this match if she's not staying. Now, unless this is their last ditch plea,
that's what I
then
mean.
no.
Is also what
Um,
I'm looking at, and I think it would be very funny, personally, if a year from now both Mayu and Azumi were in Marigold, and they're like, "Hey, look at that Tokyo Dome match, isn't that funny?" Which is why I'm also kind of like, are they doing that? But my issue is that and obviously, Azumi will never be this bad, but like last year, we were looking at Tekla, and we were like, yeah, she's just not motivated, man. Like she just is going through that. I get it. They aren't giving her anything to do. Why would she be motivated? And then when she got motivated, she was bad. So I'm just like,
I don't think Tekla is
please don't just
motivated.
come back
I
bad.
don't think she cares about that. She wants an American gig. That Fightful
Very
interview
clearly,
is just like, "Please, for the love of God, sign me." I don't think she's giving Japan her best at all. She's
no.
just in the "I'm not getting hurt" mode. It's very reminiscent of late era Julia. I'm not getting hurt. Like, that's kind of vibe I
Yeah,
get
but at
from
least
Tekla.
Julia had a vibe.
Tekla did get hurt anyways.
Yeah,
She
also
broke
true.
her wrist or whatever.
She
But
has a gimmicked arm. Ain't that
yeah,
lovely?
so I
Um,
don't think Tekla is motivated. I don't think she cares.
No,
No.
you're right. Actually, true. But that's even worse. What like I don't know. I worry about what we're doing with Azumi and where Azumi's head's at because she is not motivated, and that's
Well,
okay.
If Kid gets that white belt, she's probably in line for a shot at some point.
Yes,
But I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll have to see. I'm very interested in that. I do wonder what Stardom influence there will be on Wrestle Dynasty. Although I am less certain than ever because that Tony Khan has gone full sausage fest lately. So if there's more than one women's match, I would be shocked. For
Yeah, and
days.
that show does not look good.
Of course not.
Yeah, no. I mean, Kingdom looks fine. It looks all right. There's
I
some
mean,
decent
Kingdom.
stuff on that, but
But yeah, Dynasty.
Dynasty looks really bad.
For Jack Perry being put across from a dude like Yota Tsuji. Like that's just sabotage at that point. You're never
Yeah,
gonna look good next to Yota Tsuji. He's
no,
Yota
that's the
Tsuji.
problem
Like,
is that
just
it's like I like
come on.
both Jack Perry and Yoda Tsuji, but like neither of them are gonna make the other person look good. They're both gonna look
No.
really bad.
Yeah.
But Jack Perry looks like Jack Perry, and Yoda Tsuji looks like Yoda Tsuji. So Jack
Yeah.
Perry's fucked.
Kiss God, Yota Tsuji. That's my only input on New Japan is they should push Tsuji. I
I
would
think
push
New
Tsuji.
Japan Pro Wrestling should push Konosuke Takeshita, who obviously belongs to DDT and AEW, but
Yes. That is fair.
steal him.
Um Anyway, Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom. Uh, Koguma has competed in Wave as part of their next 2024 tournament to determine the number one contender for Saya Kamatani. In her first round match, she beat Kakeru Sakaguchi, I think, and she is
Yes.
through to the next round to face Hanoka. So the last 8 of that tournament is Kohaku, Tsuki Aoki, Tomoko Watanabe, Yuri, Hanoka, Koguma, Yumioka, and Haruka Umasaki. So
See, like this is the fucking problem with Wave right now. Those are all good wrestlers. Why does Wave suck so bad? It's like it's like Oz Academy was like a couple years ago. I mean, kind of still now, but it's like Oz Academy.
yeah, Wave. I think Wave is getting back to form, kind of.
I
Um,
don't know. Like I said, I feel like they might just be another version of Oz Academy now, where it's like all this stuff looks really
depends.
great on paper, but then you actually watch it and it's like once a month there's a good match.
I think it will depend. I think they're. I personally believe they're building to a big Kohaku over Kamatani thing, and they could maybe fill that time with an Oka challenge or something. I think Oka would be an interesting match with Saya Kamatani. I know she's
Yeah,
had like a lot of time off and she's old, but I think there could be something there to Yumioka and Saya Kamatani.
potentially. I'm not like I think that would be an interesting match for sure.
Yeah. Them pushing Tomoko Watanabe is funny though. It's like every promotion that gets her is like old women still love you, so let's go. Let's do the thing.
Hey, you know what? Shouts out to definitely not Zap. To Zap's
No,
manager,
definitely not
in
Zap.
fact.
Big ups
Do you ever
Tomoko.
notice her tweets are like, "Yeah, Zap was at this show, so I followed her there. I am her backstage helper."
That's great. It's kind of like the T Hearts account just being a fan account for whoever signs with Hoda. It's not even
Yeah,
about Hoda anymore. It's just look at them. Look at Sha and the girly. So
Kanamic
it's fun.
or Miku
Dynamic,
Kanai.
yes. Um, Also in Stardom Wrestlers outside of Stardom, on the 22nd of November, Sendai Girls is running in the Sendai Pit. Rana Yagami is taking on Yurika Oka in a interesting looking match. I like it too. What's that? Oh, Maria Koga from Seedling. Interesting. We also have Syuri versus Mika Iwata on that show, so that's gonna be fun. Mika Iwata lost the Sendai belt, so she is now free to job to Syuri,
Hell
which
yeah.
kind of clears that up. And I think for once that's all from Stardom wrestlers in other promotions. I don't think Oz is running. They don't seem to be involved with any foreign stuff.
Mina returned to AEW officially.
Ah, yes. Who was it? Anna Jay? Did she wrestle Anna Jay?
No, she
Am I
wrestled
thinking of
Harley
it wrong?
Cameron in one.
Ah, yes, she wrestled Harley Cameron, and Harley Cameron did the boob spot with her.
She
It
did
was
do that, yes.
yeah.
And then apparently I wasn't on Twitter. Apparently people were upset about it. But then Unagi's like, "Yeah, I used to do this shit with her too. What the fuck? Why
People
is
were
she on
upset
TV doing
because
shit?"
it was a spoiler, and I think they read it and didn't get the context. Maybe.
Oh. Yeah, Brian
Um,
Alvarez loves
'Cause,
Mina
yeah, they didn't
Shirakawa as much
realize.
as you do.
That's crazy. Don't ever compare me to Brian Alvarez. That's
No, but like for real, he was like Mina Shirakawa was just like actually better than pretty much everybody else on this roster, if I'm being honest. He's like, and that's not even like
Despite
a
his
me being weird thing.
great wrestling, he is kind of fun. I will admit, Brian Alvarez. He just loves to like
Oh
piss
yeah,
Dave
he's
off.
hilarious. He's hilarious. It's great.
Um, but
Not
yeah, we have
smart
two
about a
Stardom
lot of things,
shows.
but hilarious.
No, not at all. Two Stardom shows to review though. New Blood West 2, the Osaka Azalea Taisho Hall in front of 246 fans. This is one of my favorite venues in Japan, and I always
It's a
notice it
nice
because
venue.
it's circular and has the woodwork features, and I love it. So that was that. And if this would scroll, that would be very nice. Ah, there we go. Hanan defeats debuting Matoi Hamabe in 9.5 minutes. Matoi. What are we thinking about
Matoi.
Matoi? I think she's
She was good. I think she has great
yeah.
fundies, which is all you want at
These
this point. Fundies, yes. Fundamentals.
that is not fun.
What?
We on a delay.
You Oh, okay. Yeah, you just went super quiet, and I went quiet, and I was like, "What the fuck just happened?" Yeah, she has good
Okay, we're
fundamentals.
we're definitely on a delay.
Hopefully, the delay is gone.
I don't know. Is it?
Maybe.
Okay, count with me. One,
Okay, one,
two,
two, three, four. Okay, you stopped
three.
counting.
Yeah, I only counted to three.
Oh, we're on that bad of a delay? Holy shit! What the fuck happened?
Oh dear. Okay, I will go and come back and
Okay, hopefully.
all right. Any better?
Hello. Are we
Hi.
are we good?
I don't know.
Are we counting again?
We can.
Okay. One,
One,
two,
two,
three,
three,
four.
four,
One.
one.
Hmm. Let
Is
me
it
think of.
bad?
It's not that bad. I don't think so.
Okay. Well, if you can hear me
But
and we can like have a conversation,
yeah, I
that's
mean,
fine.
I think it's okay. It might be bad, but I don't know for sure.
Right. Well, it was
Well,
worse
no,
because
okay,
I
it's better now. Yeah, it's definitely better
okay.
than it was.
Yeah, because when I said fundies, it took you like 10 seconds to catch up.
Yeah, fundies,
Um,
fundamentals. Okay.
yeah. Okay. So Matoi, I want more projection from her. She did the usual thing of like striding it with her head down and like kept her head down, and I'm like, you got to soak in the moment. That's how I know that you're a real one. Um, I like the gear; it's very professional.
I love the
Um,
theme song. Theme song is
that's
one of my
great.
favorites in
Yeah,
Stardom right now. Like it
Stardum's
is really
themes are
good.
great. I don't love the blue. I feel like everybody has blue in their gear now, and I would have steered her away from the blue. But I like the gear. It is very professional. It's not
Hmm.
the one that annoys me with the necks, the choker into the
It
straps.
is a
It's a
bit
little bit
different.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like the gear. Yeah, I think she needs to hit harder. She needs to get a little bit more slick. But for somebody who's just debuted, I think she did. She did fine.
Yeah, no, I agree. I generally agree. I think that she did well enough. I mean, I think her on the house shows will be interesting. I think she might surpass Rion pretty quickly, which,
Whoa.
good for her. I like the judo throw. I think Hana was a good opponent for her too. So like I thought that, this match wasn't anything special, but I see good things in her future generally.
Yeah. Made it seem like she was going to join Stars straight after, but I don't think she did.
I think Hana was like, "Hey, I would love to have you in stars, but the senior members ain't here. It's just me, Momokogo, and Ida. So
Oh
we
yeah.
can't welcome you, but maybe." And she's like, "Yeah,
Toy
I'm
does
down."
fit though. I mean, the orange would make sense. I don't
She'd
think.
be replacing Yuzuki.
Yeah, that's true. I could see it. So yeah, I
They
think they
never got a
might
replacement
do it.
there. Yeah.
So she can take pins, considering they kind of like Hanan and Ida now. But we'll see.
Man, they better like
Um,
Hana and Ida. Those motherfuckers are the only reason I'm still watching this damn My bad.
but yeah, I thought that was a solid debut. And we then went on to Maysara and Miyu Misaki beating Yuna Mizumori and Momoka Hanazono. Maysara beat Yuna Mizumori in 12.5 minutes with a horizontal shrimp hold, which is a roll
It
up.
was like yeah, Momoka hit Yuna on accident with like her
Yes, she
plastic
did.
gimmick, fucked her up, and then May stole the win.
I
Yeah.
really liked this. I don't think a lot of people will, but I thought it was funny to see O2 line or not O2 line, Neo Genesis play off of Hanazono. Like when she
Yeah.
did the crying bit, and one of them just went no and stomped her in the head. I thought that was great.
I think Neo Genesis are very funny people, and I think
Yes.
that like in general, but I think something just felt off about this match because I agree generally with your standpoint, but it did feel off for some reason. I'm not sure
Wow,
why.
that's
Um,
you're not enjoying Hanazono is crazy.
no, I like Anazono obviously,
All
but
right, okay. There's everybody
yeah,
else.
yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it was the Unimon May Sarah aspect of it because they are great together, but I was just like, this is so weird that this is happening like 5 seconds after the like super ultra like leaning into comedy stuff, and then they went back to, I feel like it was like it wasn't very smooth in the transitioning between the very serious and the very unserious aspects of it, which is okay. Like I don't think that was a bad thing. I just think certain, I don't know, I don't really remember why I felt lower on this match than I thought I would, because it you know, funny wrestlers are funny. I like funny wrestlers.
Yeah, Hanazono's great.
Indeed.
I would build my roster around Hanazono. Didn't I
I
draft her
mean, Evo
second
Girl,
in the draft this year with Scott?
I don't think you, maybe, I think you drafted her. Oh wait, no, you did draft her second.
Because
That
it was
is, yeah,
Bozilla than
that is a
her,
good one.
and people didn't see the vision, but now they understand. Bozilla and Hanazono would be 5 stars. I'm
Yes,
convinced. So I think I
I agree.
cooked with that one. Our next match was Aya Sakura and Sayaka Kurara taking on Sumika Yanagawa and Misa Kagura from JTO. Kagura pinned Sayaka in 15 and a half minutes with the Hare Tokidoki Misa. Did well. This was
Yeah, good
15
job.
and a half minutes. You could tell it went long. I think it dragged after an initial phase.
I checked
Um,
the time on it and I decided not to watch it.
that's fair. So Misa Kagura and Tam used to be in the same group, which I
Man,
feel like
don't.
yes. So the bell rings, okay, and Misa walks right over and stares at Tam, who is seconding Karara and Aya. So, from the moment this starts, we are on the Tam Road, and I think it's no surprise that Kagura pinned Karara, who Sayakamatani and Tam were kind of talking around when they made the challenge, who some people think might turn on Tam. And then you have Misa Kagura coming in, who knows Tam and just beat Karara, and it's all coming together in the Tam Road, baby. So
Last time
yeah,
something like this happened on New Blood, it was now Ishikawa. So welcome to the Golden Fields, Misa Kagura. I'm so excited to have you.
great.
No, I don't. uh,
Yeah, no, it's
I
it's a
like
lot.
Misa a lot, but no, man.
I like her everywhere but here. I feel like she
Yeah.
didn't fit with the Stardom wrestlers.
I mean,
And I thought,
she's very Nakajima coded, very Sareee coded. Like these are the places that
yeah,
she should be the ace of fucking Seedling. I mean, they should
yeah,
pay her
she's
as
made to
much money as
stand and
Seedling
throw
could afford.
forearms. That's
You know
her
what I mean?
bag.
Yeah, like
Not whatever else was.
I just don't want her in Stardom at all, honestly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yanagawa is a better fit. Although I was surprised
She's
at how
not
good
very
she
good though.
was. Because yeah,
Oh, was she
Yanagawa
good here?
she was.
That's good.
Yanagawa is good one time you watch her and then not good the next. Like I saw her in
Yeah.
CMLL and I was like, I don't know. And then I saw her here and I was like, yeah, she wasn't too bad.
See,
But yeah,
I used to like her, and then she started like
mhm,
having like pretty like actively bad matches. I was like, ah, yeah. And so yeah, she's very inconsistent, but I'm happy to
mhm.
hear that she was good here.
Yeah, I thought she was good enough. This is probably one of the weaker Sayaka Karara and Aya Sakura matches, honestly. Just
Mm,
the JTO girls just couldn't pick the pace up with them, which makes sense because JTO is a very technical company, and
yeah.
Kagura is, of course, in stand and trade, fight me, bitch, seedling. So yeah, it is what it is. 50 and a half minutes is a lot to ask, anyway. So
Yeah, I don't know why they would book that, if I'm being completely honest.
they did a promo with Tam and Misa after, and they kind of were acknowledged their history, and then Kagura was like, "Hey, I know you." So I think they're probably gonna build to a Tam Kagura match in some manner. Um, so that's that. Maybe they'll do it at Takataichi. Aren't they bringing back Takataichi?
They are, but it's not going to
Mm.
be make tape, so I am absolutely distraught.
Oh, that's insane. That's really weird.
Because I mean, this was funny, and I texted to Xavier, and he got a hit tweet off of it. But that Taka Michinoku went on Taichi's broadcast, and he was like, I've really missed being able to do something on a high scale that like New Japan can't do. And then he immediately went into talking about booking like cool women's matches, and how like that's what Taka Taichi Mania kind of became, and how he's very proud of that. And I'm just like, yeah, no, that tracks. Oh man. But
I
yeah.
what was I gonna say? Oh, it's really weird that Taichi of all people is like cool with women's wrestling when his entire gimmick for a while was that he was a bit of a creep. He was
Well,
that was his whole vibe.
Tai Chi's gimmick is very funny because like he like very much leaned into the whole like Mephisto thing in the Phantom of the Opera, where like it's not subtle at all, but no, like it's never talked about that like his whole thing has always been like his rejection of love. That's why the Tam stuff is such like a thing. Like why he like leans into it so heavily is because his whole thing was that like Miho Abe was obsessed with him, but he would just like shun her because he didn't believe in love because he was a dark-hearted, blah, all that very Phantom of the Opera type shit. And so like him turning babyface and beginning to get along with women is like a big progression character-wise that just like is never brought up. And everybody's just like, why the fuck is this guy here? Um, but that's a little Tai Chi lore for you. But yeah, no, Tai Chi loves fucking wrestling with women, like besides women. It's pretty awesome.
That's fair, honestly. Um,
I mean, he did
in
get
our
Mio Abe a paycheck for like a good 10 years. To be
That's
fair,
fair,
let's not forget
honestly.
that.
That is valid. Our next match was Zones and Chi-Chi beating Hanako and Rian. Chi-Chi got the win over Rian in just under 12 minutes with a backdrop.
Chi Chi's
As
been good for a minute, but
Yeah,
she's fucking like a top caliber young wrestler right now.
she's put it together, and it's really funny how her and Aya are just ready to like run back Kana or recent Nakajima match. They just fully want to brain one another. Rian was really good next to Hanako. I've never seen her this personable. Like she was doing all the fun gestures, and they were doing the little big thing, and I was like, "Who's this? Like, where's
Yeah,
this coming from?" So more of that from Rian. And yeah, Chi Chi really stood out here. I thought her bullying Rian would be a really good story progression.
Hanako did well as well. I thought this was a very good match, especially
Yeah,
given the wrestlers in it. I wasn't expecting too much, but I thought it was quite good, and I enjoyed it a
yeah.
lot.
The
Yeah, and
obviously the key part though
Chi-Chi's
was
a baller.
afterwards
Yeah.
when Aya Sakura just ran out and was like, "Hey, screw you!" and her and Chi Chi just got into a fight. So
Well, because Evo
I
Girls
think it was
declared war on
they did,
Stardom's young
they
wrestlers,
did.
and they won, and they're like, "Damn, that was an easy war. You guys suck." And then,
That's
and then
that's so
Aya
fun.
Sakura came and jumped her, which was
I
awesome.
would really I would be here for Chi-Chi winning the future belt. I think
As would
that's
I.
something we need, if they're gonna go
Espe-
down that.
You know what? Let's not get
Her and
into it.
Mio Masaki could have a great match too. Like I
Now
think
they
those 2 would
can.
do
They've
really
had a
well.
stinker before, but they
Oh
can
yeah,
now.
I always forget that. But yeah, they would kick ass now. Like they would go crazy. Um, yeah, let's see the main event, of course. New Blood Tag Championships. Rina and Azusa Inaba beat Lady C and Rana Yagami.
Can I be so
Azusa,
real with you right now?
uh,
I watched the first 5 minutes of this and I was like, I'm not doing this, and I skipped it.
you are evil. So
Man,
Azusa pinned Rana.
I've
This
watched so
was
many
really good.
Azusa and Rina
I'm sorry,
matches
this was
that
really good. You
I'm
missed
sure it
out.
was. I'm sure it was good, but I've watched a lot of like I've watched pretty much every uh Devil X Princess match in the tag league, and I was just like, I can't do this right now. I'm so tired. I don't want
Disgraceful.
to.
Main event Lady C was out here and you skipped it? What the
Hey, I'm
fuck is
happy
wrong
for
with you?
Lady C. I've gone back and I've watched as many Wing Glory matches as I could, because obviously I was like 2 weeks behind on Stardom.
Mhm.
Uh, so starting the other day, I've been watching most of those, and I've watched some of Rina and Azusa. I'm sure this match was good. I'm not like this isn't an indictment on any of them, but once I did realize it was going like north of 15, I was just like, I don't need to. I can't.
Disgraceful. There was a funny moment in the promo after where Lady C was like, "I want to be 30 tomorrow." Rana, how old are you? And Rana went, "That's classified information."
Well, because Rana's birthday was yesterday.
Ah, that's fun.
Or I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. Like,
She was like,
yeah,
"Nah, no, you ain't
I think
catching me
so.
with that." I
You know,
assume because
we've
they
been
were
trying to
all
figure
old.
out how fucking old Rana was since she like debuted, because it was like, yeah, she's been she's been a drummer for 15 years. It's like 15. How old is she? And it's like, and she's been like the stats on her were insane. You know,
Yeah.
it was like, oh, she's been doing karate for 35 years. It's like that's not how age works.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah, she
But
could be anywhere between 20 and, like, 40.
yeah,
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 I
no,
would
I believe
realistically
it.
believe you at any age there. So it's pretty
I mean,
fun.
look at all the great things Momokogo is doing at her
Hell
age.
yeah. But yeah, New Blood was good.
That was a peps joke. Go on.
I like New Blood. It was good. I thought it was a, a neat little show.
Yeah, it was all right.
Um, but yeah, that was that. November 17th, New Japan Pro Wrestling X Stardom Historic Crossover 2. This did 3,547 fans in the Edion Osaka Arena, which I think is probably the peak for this kind of show now. I know the first one did what, like 7,000, 7,500 or so. But
Yeah,
I don't think
6 or
you're going to get
7.
that again. The novelty is gone, and also none of the main eventers work it anymore because they basically
Yeah,
built this around a couple of the mid
it's
card
just
acts.
Zach. It's just Zach.
Yeah. So
Well, and Despy,
um,
but
they
yeah,
have said they want to run it every 2 years, which I think is enough to, like, keep the novelty, but
yeah.
I'm not the target audience for this show because I already respect women. I already I already see women's wrestlers as general
Notorious woman
athletes.
respecter Alex Richards. Yes.
Exactly. Love me some women. So
Pause.
like, I'm not the target audience for this show, and it always just grinds my gears with all the little, like, microaggressions that they do, and I'm just like, I
Yeah.
couldn't care less about these dudes. So we're gonna review this. I'm gonna be as
This match,
fair as possible.
this show definitely like reminded me how New Japan works
Yeah,
and
yeah,
how like this concept is never going to be as good as it can be, in my opinion. Because I am also let me put this on the record. I am also a woman respecter. I also
yes.
respect women. But I did realize, damn, Molly, do you disagree? Like Molly might disagree. I don't know. She barking now. But no, I think that startled me. No, I don't think New Japan's ever going to be able to do what they could do because I love energetic wrestling. I think energetic wrestling when it's done well is super good. In fact, Suzu Suzuki versus Tomoyo Harada is still a match I show to people who don't watch wrestling. Um, because it just like it works so well as a perfect David versus Goliath and a death match, which are both pretty cool things to see. Um, like I think that it can work super well, and I really enjoy it when it's done well. But I don't think New Japan's ever going to do it well because I mean you look at the main event; those are four wrestlers who are good. I know you don't like Zach. Those are four wrestlers that are good that are willing to wrestle intergender and who can have the certain stylistic things that can make them competent in good pairings for each other, and they barely touched on that. They touched on it more in the matches that with the blandest heels versus the blandest baby face. Well, not blandest baby faces, but just like this like really lame dynamic. That was when they were like, okay, we're gonna go all in on this intergender stuff, and it just was lame because fucking Driller Maloney is lame. You know what I mean? Like that's like I don't know. I just don't think it's ever gonna work in the way that it could because unlike you, I do think that there is a really cool element to this that they could do, but they don't. You know what I mean?
Right. Um, well, we'll go through it. We'll go through it. Pre-show tag: Hanako and Aya Sakura beat Ran Yagami and Sayaka Kurara. Hanako got the win over Kurara in 10 minutes for the JP coaster.
Ooh.
Yeah, this was fine. Solid work from everybody involved, considering they mixed up the tags. So, people weren't with their regular partners.
Mm.
Um, and it was also the pre-show match. So, then we had Tam Nakano and Syuri Ano beating Syuri and Tomoka Inaba. Tam pinned Inaba with the Violet Screwdriver in 10 minutes, which, I
Inaba
mean,
got one pin on Tam, and Tam will be her in every match they're in for the rest of time.
yes. I mean, Tam was likeliest to get a win because
Yes,
obviously
obviously.
she's the poster child. Um, I thought Siriano and Syuri did some very interesting stuff. Syuri had the gear on that made me go, "Oh, she's taking this seriously," and she was taking it seriously.
I
Um,
I talked about it last week with Scott and Xavi when I watched the Mako match. This Soriano gear is so good. It
yes.
is
Oh yeah.
so cool. It
Also, like,
she just
unleashed a
looks so
little bit
cool.
of wrestling ability 'cause she's been wrestling out of her
Oh,
mind
she's been
since
cooking.
since wearing it.
Yeah,
So that's pretty fun.
that Mako match,
Oh, it was
chef's kiss.
great. Oh, I loved
Yeah,
it.
loved it.
Yeah. Um, where to from
This
there?
match was this match was good.
Yes.
It was all right.
We then had Azumi, Meisera, and Miyu Amasaki beating Konami, Rina, and Rocca in just under 11 minutes when Azumi won with a diving foot stomp. That was to set Azumi up for
Hmm.
the title match later, or the title challenge. Um, you can kind of see what hate could be in shows like this because the crowd is more willing to play along with heel stuff. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my only takeaway is hate. Is this crowd kind of like hate? You know,
Yeah, I've made an executive decision. I'm not gonna watch any more hate matches that I don't have to.
that's fair. That's
I
fair.
realized nobody can make me.
Okay, I
Like you
I
guys are
guess.
gonna listen or you're not. Like that. So I'm just I think I'm mostly done with
Right.
that.
Well, fair enough. There was a men's match there. I don't actually know who won. I never checked.
Oh yeah,
Stardom's
Tiger
website.
Mask was in it. Tiger Mask not good, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's fun.
He did
Stardom's
say he
website
would
doesn't
have
even say
voted for
anything about
Kamala
him.
Harris if he was American, which I thought was funny. But,
Nice. She could have used it.
you know, no kidding. Um, yeah, but
Um,
Tiger Mask was in it. I don't know what happened in that match either,
did
if I'm being
somebody
honest.
cheat in that match? Because they like, there's this dude with scruffy hair that I've never seen before in the pictures. Are you on the
Uh,
Stardom website?
no, I'll go on to it now
No.
to see what you're doing or what you're
Okay,
looking
because
at
it's at the
because I
very top, and it's United Empire and some dude with like scruffy hair, but he's not. It's not a referee,
okay,
is it?
let me
Is it a
see who this
referee?
is.
Did New Japan got a twink ref?
I mean, they've had what? Wait, it doesn't show anything on the Stern
Really?
website. What are you talking about?
At the top of the page.
Oh, at the very
Like
top.
one of
Okay.
the yeah, one of the pictures. It's Jeff Cobb and the other two and some dude.
That's a referee. What the fuck?
Oh, I thought
That's
referees
one of
wore
their
like.
junior referees. No,
Oh,
that's one of the
right,
junior
okay.
referees.
Because I was like, that dude looks like he would be in United Empire. He's got the haircut.
Yeah, no, I could see it.
Yeah.
I could see it.
All
By
right.
the way, very off topic. Akira needs to get his goddamn facial hair back. He looks fucking
Yeah.
weird. I don't like that. I don't like the way he looks. I guarantee it.
That's fair. Next match was Gabe Kidd, Drilla Maloney, Natsuko Tora, and Saya Kamatani beating Hiroshi Tanahashi, Ryusuke Taguchi, Hanan, and Saya Ida. Uh, Gabe Kidd pinned Taguchi in 14 minutes with a pile driver. Um, this was okay. The best part was Tanahashi squaring up to Tora and looking so happy. He was like he was ready to run it back. He was ready to die right then and there for the cause.
I mean,
I
last
haven't
time
seen.
around, Tanahashi slapped the shit out of Micah.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
Tanahashi's up for this shit.
he's the one.
It's funny.
He has to do an intergender match, like, during his retirement road. Just,
I
like,
think
get
that'd
him
be
in there with
awesome. He
somebody.
should.
Um, and there was something else that I was gonna
There was
mention.
Ida and somebody that she knows very well, Drilla Maloney. They paired
Oh, they
off
did the
for a bit.
chops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
Still, I mean,
Diane Gucci was, like, really stupid, and I
yeah,
hated everything about it.
yeah.
And, yeah, mixed tag matches stink, and I hate it.
Well, I was
That's not
never gonna like
oh,
this match.
my thing
This
was that
match.
Tanahashi is so cooked. I haven't seen this man
Oh
wrestle in a
yes,
long
yeah.
time. He is not mobile. He
No,
can't even do the sling blade
it's.
properly. Like,
I
oh
know
my
you're
god,
gonna
help
scoff
him.
at this, but like the only wrestler he can wrestle is Zach because Zach will just like I won't make you bump. I'll just we could just
Yeah,
do the silly Tekker stuff, and you will not have to like move your joints too much, and it works. They
for
have good
that.
matches still, but otherwise, yeah, no.
Our next match was for the KOPW Championship, Hardcore Rules. Great Okan beat Suzu Suzuki in 21 minutes with the Eliminator. Is that a
Yes,
move? Yeah.
It's
Okay. Cool.
the claw choke slam, but it's not a choke.
Ah,
It's the claw slam.
right.
Yeah.
This should satisfy some people's need to see Suzu do the deathmatch stuff. It was obviously not a deathmatch. It was kind of slightly more extreme plunder. Um, I thought they both did well. I think Great
Yeah.
Okan. The one thing Great Okan is he can eat shit. Like he's
Yes.
really funny when he eats shit, and
Oh,
it's
the
very entertaining.
Great Khan is like it's so strange that sometimes they just like make him play stoic because he is a funny like he's a very good physical comedy guy.
Yeah,
Like you can really put him through like not saying he should
but
be,
not
but like
even that. I think the way he bumps and stuff
he's on
is
the Yano
very
shit.
like, the way he
Yeah.
bumps and stuff is very good. Like he was really bumping his ass off for Suzu at some points, and it
Mhm.
was just him eating shit for being a dickhead, and it worked really well. Um,
No, really like this match generally. I
yeah.
thought it was quite good. Like you said, it kind of satisfies that need for Suzu to do death matches because she is just so creative
Hmm.
and so motivated for these things that like I just wish she could do it more. Honestly, I think that was one of the biggest takeaways for me in this match is I wish they would give her a couple a year. Let her do this once in a while. Um, I think it'd be super fun. But yeah, I thought this was a lot of fun. I think Grailcon, like you said, was willing to like just look like a complete fucking fool every once in a while, which was important to this match. Um, it wasn't like anything insane or great, and I think some people will be turned off by certain parts of it, understandably so.
Yeah, there
But
was the weird thumb bit.
that's
That's the
just the
vibe of the show. That is the show. It
unfortunately
is sexism.
unfortunately it makes sense because Grado Khan is the pervert.
Yes.
My mom got a kick out of that one. She's half asleep, but she laughed from across the room.
Okay.
Um,
Great.
but no, like that's just like his. I don't know, like that's just part of his gimmick. Unfortunately, despite being like this like relatively good shooter who's a double champion in the company right now, um, who's like really down to do a lot of cool things and is just a pretty open guy being a pervert despite actually he saved two women from getting like attacked by a man, which is why it's even funnier that his gimmick is he's a pervert.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Like that
actually.
was
Yeah.
like very famously something he did. um but he likes hentai, so
What a
it's got to
guy.
be a pervert. um but yeah, back to the actual match itself. Match was good. I liked it. I thought it was fun, and I think seeing Suzu in these situations is always fun. Like I said, one of my favorite matches to watch, just as like a junk food match, is one of her death matches against a big guy from Freedoms. So I think she's good here. She's good in these sorts of matches, and this was good enough for me.
The one thing about this that I will say I liked is that it was one of those where the guy is okay with the woman working snug. So Suzu was
Yeah,
really throwing them kicks and those strikes, which is one of the few times where I do quite like intergender wrestling where it's like you can just hit me. It's pretty great. So I do
yeah.
think Okan deserves a lot of praise for letting Suzu do her thing.
I thought that Great Okan also. I thought this match wasn't. I thought it was 50-50 enough for me to not complain. It wasn't 50-50.
Yeah.
It was more like
No.
65, or no, it was probably like 30. But it felt like a pretty comfortable 70-30. It wasn't like a
Yeah.
okay, I gotta let her get some offense. It was more like no, like at times there were points where like it felt like Suzu was going to win, like just from a match progression style. It felt like, oh, Suzu is a threat that could win right now, and I thought that was really cool because it that doesn't always happen in these intergender matches. In fact, it often doesn't in matches in intergender matches in companies like New Japan that don't fuck with, what I mean? They don't like
Yeah.
women. So,
Which is not
yeah.
it's not a New Japan thing. Like there's
No, it's not a New Japan thing. It's
decades of prejudice there within Japanese wrestling, that you'd have
yes.
to undo. It is what it is. New Japan can't undo it in a single day, and I understand that. So that is what it is. There's since their website is broken, there's no way to see what they said in the post match comments. I was very interested in what Okan can't read those. So fantastic. Um,
Oh yeah, I
our
don't know when
next
those will go up.
match.
Maybe they have gone up on New Japan World. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was a pay per view.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Um, We had Taichi and Natsupoi beat Clark Connors and Tekla in 22.5 minutes when
Thank God I
Natsupoi
didn't watch this.
pinned
Holy fuck.
Tekla.
22 minutes?
Yeah. It was like they would do heat, then they would throw Natsupoi out of the ring and do more heat, and then they would get in and do heat and then throw her back out. And it was non-stop the entire match. And it only really got good at the very end when Connor speared the shit out of Tekla, and then
Yeah.
he tried to spear Natsupoi, and she just kicked him, and then she won, and the ending was good. But before that, it was just a lot of heat, and the crowd reacted. In fairness to them, like Clark Connors was healing it up, I thought pretty well. I will give Clark Connors that. He's very a Miz like heel where I'm like, I want to see somebody punch you in the face, which is like the point of wrestling. Um, so I will say he is good at what he does in that regard, and he kind of kept things going fairly well with his dickheadery. But yeah, this is like a lot of Tekla and Natsupoi, and Tekla would just like sit in these rest holds and stuff. And yeah, 22 minutes is just it's too much.
Yeah, that's
They
the thing
couldn't
about
do
this
it.
match is that it's like I really like two of these wrestlers. Taichi's like one of my favorite male wrestlers, even though he doesn't get to do anything anymore. Um, Natsupoi's awesome.
Yeah,
Clark's okay sometimes. I mean, he's not usually, but sometimes. But Tekla's just so bad that I couldn't
yeah,
like because that poisons all like that poisons all. You know what I mean?
yeah. No,
Tekla
like
poison the
this was
Tekla
like
Natsupoi pairing.
full. This was full in your face heel
Yeah,
stuff like
the
the entire
the
time.
Tekla Natsupoi pairing is terrible.
Yeah,
Tekla and Clark as a team just seem very insufferable, and I get what you mean that it's like, oh well, you want to see Clark get beat up, which I think does lend itself to the Tai Chi points of this match, where Tai Chi can beat Clark up very effectively. Um, but that still doesn't make up for just the general 22-minute runtime of the match that I didn't want to
yeah.
see. So yeah,
No, and
and
this
like I said,
one,
it was really a shame because I do really like Taichi and Cosmic Angels. I think they have a cool dynamic as wrestlers, and like you said, Taichi very clearly cares about like the intergender stuff, the mixed gender stuff. He's a big fan of doing this stuff. Uh, he's the one who keeps campaigning to have mixed tag belts because he just wants something to do,
yeah,
because he enjoys teaming with the women, and I respect him for that and I appreciate him for that. But it's a shame that they gave him Tekla and Clark to do that.
indeed. This is a 7 on Cage Match, which is surprising. I'm gonna assume it's a lot of New Japan fans who are just like totally into the heel heat stuff,
Mm.
and maybe not as withered, worn out by Tekla, but that's all right. I thought it was fairly boring for most of what it was. But listen, forget that. Our next match was for the IWGP Women's Championship. Mayu Iwatani beat Momo Watanabe in 24 minutes and justified this show. Mayu Iwatani, no jokes about it, has to start being discussed as one of the best wrestlers ever. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
acknowledge her, at the very least, top 25 women's wrestler of all time, I don't
Okay.
expect
Wait. Wait.
you
Wait.
to.
Okay. Well, if you she's top 25 is like generous. I don't respect you if she's outside of like top 12. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, well, listen,
she's
some people have their preferences for different eras. I get it. You might be a big Azumi Hyuga fan. You do you,
such
but
a
you gotta,
specific person. You're just
you
talking to
gotta.
one.
Yeah, okay, all right. That just came to mind. But
No, I know.
you
I know.
have got to start acknowledging Mayu as one of the best to ever do this shit. Like, no doubts about it anymore. This was insane. This is another match of the year contender in her already stacked 2024. Her and Momo are like Stardom's greatest rivalry. I know people will say Io and Mayu was really good, but their output didn't match what Mayu and Momo have done. Mayu and Momo have had more matches. I think they've hit the same
They've
highs,
had
if
more
not a small
different
bit higher.
matches.
Different
They've
matches.
had great tags against each other.
Yeah, like these two are match made in heaven. The only person even close is Mayu with Kagetsu, because that was a
Yeah.
pairing that was fucking insane.
Yes.
But obviously Kagetsu retired, so they didn't have as many matches.
Too
But
soon.
Mayu and Momo, this is the one. Like, I don't know if Stardom will ever have a better rivalry than this.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. Like I think there's just something really special about Mayu and Momo.
Mhm.
Um, it's funny because this got me thinking of Utami and Mayu a lot because I realized that it's like Utami came into Stardom um like Momo's right hand, right?
Yeah.
Like that was what she became very quickly. She usurped Momo, all that thing. But the one thing that till the end, and this is will especially hold true, ring true, if Mayu does go to Marigold and beat Utami. um, the one thing that ties Momo and Utami, no matter where they go or who they are, is their inferiority to Mayu. And I think there's something very interesting in that. Because, the day like the first 1 month into Utami being around, she lost to Mayu. She's like, damn, that's gonna be tough. And these motherfuckers are still losing to Mayu. like Chris Charlton, who it has his moments uh, as a commentator. He brought up that it's like Momo is filled with hate, but 10 years ago she was a literal child who still didn't know how to deal with the icon, and now 10 years later she still doesn't know how to like he's laid out very well how like Momo's first title challenge was losing to Mayu in when she was 15 years old. She beat her for the in the white belt match, but then like there's just no real advantage that Momo has held on Mayu ever. And I think that just really there were points in this match where Momo just felt like a pure babyface, and it was like, man, I miss that. But also, there were times where her being a heel kind of helped this match. I really liked her honor amongst thieves shit, where she was like, I'm not fucking hitting you with a bat. I'm just gonna kick you in the head as hard as possible. That was awesome. I I I I could say so many great things about this match. We're already over time, but it was just incredible. It was one of my favorite matches of the year. This is Mayu's fourth match of the year, top 10 match of the year for me as of now. So just run up the board if you will,
You have
if
to
you'd like.
specify top 10 because this year is so insane. It's not even, there's a chance it's not even top 5 because you've
Uh,
got like the Sareee stuff. It's Sareee wrestled Mayu. Remember that? You've got the
yeah,
tag that they were in. You got for me, Miyu Watanabe. That was ridiculous. You got some other Sareee stuff. Arisa
you got
Nakajima's retirement tour.
Utami Io.
Tommy Io, like crazy year, but this is up there with
Yeah,
all of those. Like this is right up there with all of those
in
insane
terms of
wrestlers, with all the Arisa Nakajima stuff, all the Sareee stuff. Like it's right there.
this might be my favorite Mayu singles though of the year.
Wow. I liked the Sareee one more, but
See,
I
I was
wouldn't
the low
bite your
man.
head off.
I was the low man on Mayu Sari.
The
That
Sareee
was
one was just
that was
something.
for me that was a step below Mayu Shuri, and I would say this is kind of on the same level as Mayu Shuri.
God, Mayu started the year
Probably a
with
bit
that
better.
Syuri match. Oh my god.
Exactly. That's what I mean. So it's like right now, like as of now, the Mayu matches in order of greatness is Mayu Sari versus Chiro Veni, obviously is number one. Number two is Mayu Momo. Number three is Mayu Shuri. Number four is Mayu Sari, and then number five I don't have because, like I said, beyond my top 10, it starts getting messy.
Yeah,
But
no,
it's
that's fair.
it's there's like yeah she has yeah she's has hot
It does.
take bitches. But yeah, and this match I
um,
don't know,
yeah.
Momo always just makes me feel things with wrestling.
Yeah,
There's so
Momo Watanabe
there's
is exceptional.
there's something
Very
about
special.
being about seeing Momo's run in real time that just it's interesting. It's hard to really
You're getting
it's hard
very
to put into words.
sentimental here.
I've yeah, no, for real. Thought about because like Mayu is or Momo is the wrestler that I've wanted to write about the most, but I don't know how because
Yeah.
there is just this like intrinsic feeling about her that I can't shake, despite the fact she's in my least favorite tag team in the
It's
world right
just
now.
if you weren't
You know what
there,
I
you
mean?
weren't there. Right?
Yeah,
We
like and
said
there's
this
just something about her.
in our beginner's guide. We were like, if you weren't there for Momo's like ace
I think
run,
Rossy said
basically,
this.
you
You know what I
just
mean?
weren't there. You know, you
The
just The magic just isn't in it for you with Momo,
When
but it is
Rossi was
for
asked
us.
why Momo never won the red belt or didn't, wasn't winning the red belt, he was basically like, Momo's a tremendous wrestler, one of the best on the roster, one of the best in the world, but some new people just don't really get it.
Mhm.
And people who get it know, and people who get it want her to succeed, but people who don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's why where we're at 0-12 since 2017 or 2019. So
Incredible.
yeah.
Absolutely insane. But yeah, that match justified the price of the tickets, I would imagine. Um, I've said this already. I think Momo benefits a lot from hate. I think she is one of the people that makes it work the most. I think Mayu is one of the best opponents for hate. So when you put them together with their natural wrestling talent, you add in the strong heel babyface dynamic, it does take them to another level. I think their matches are made better by the hate stuff and without it.
I don't think I agree. I get, like, I don't disagree,
I
but I
don't. I
don't
know
think
you
I
don't
I
agree,
have a
but you know me. I'm big on my baby faces this year. You know,
like. I
go
think
baby face
if
stuff.
if Momo were to turn away from hate and they were to have another match after that, I think it would be their best match easily.
It would
Um,
require a lot of build
I
up, I think.
Yes, but I think what I'm kind of looking at is I think Momo looks less competent in hate
I
is a bigger
guess.
problem than her looking than her bad in hate. I think she's really good. I thought this match was
Okay.
tremendous, like I said.
All right.
Um, I think her as a heel is just way less imposing. Funnily enough, like her as a true
I
heel, I
don't
should say.
agree. I don't. I'm not with it, but that's okay. Our main event was Zack Sabre
The
Jr.
numbers don't
and
lie, man.
mm, Zack Sabre Jr. and Micah beating El Desperado and Starlight Kid. Micah got the win for her team in 21 and a half minutes with a swivel Michinoku driver 2. This was fine. You know, they all did stuff. Zack and
See,
Desperado did like got in and like did little bits, but not enough. They all kept teasing intergender spots, and I thought it was
that was
funny because we
so
had an
funny.
intergender match on this show. So
Yeah,
like,
I said
I was
that
like,
I
just
said that
do
at the
it,
jump.
just go, just do it.
I said
You
that at the
know?
jump that it's so funny that this is what and New Japan wrestlers were boycotting was this match.
Yeah.
Like like because the War Dogs are super heels who are allowed to hit women. I guess that's the New Japan logic of it all.
Also,
Um,
I think they acknowledge that Americans just like think about it differently, you know? So they're like, well, yeah, of course. Like, oh wait, they're not American.
Clark is the only American.
I forgot. Oh my god, Drilla is from the UK. The Drilla. But yeah, I
And
mean,
and
listen,
Gabe, yeah,
Americans. Listen,
you aren't blaming us for Gabe Kidd. Let me preface that
listen.
also.
They're as bad as each
So
other. Okay,
he might have
America and
trained
England
here,
are
but
as bad
he
as one
no.
another. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's all the same to me. America, England. You're all fascist freaks
You're
to me.
British. Okay, whatever. But
Whoa. Okay, hold on.
I'm kidding.
We don't. My right wing party never gets votes, so I don't know about y'all,
Yeah,
but I am safe.
that's good for you.
Okay, I'm fine. Not those English though. You know, they're a bit weird. Just want to brag.
But
You know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
point being, I think it's very fair. Desperado knows how to wrestle against a woman. Like he's not
Yes.
gonna be an asshole about it. Um, so I was like, oh, this is all gonna work super well. And then it was just a mixed tag team match
Yeah.
that was just kind of bland. I thought it was good. Like the wrestling was good because Mike and Kid are good, and Zack Sabre Jr. and Desperado work super well together. They're good. They trained together for 10 years, for God's sakes. Um, but yeah, I was just like, oh, really? That's why Shota Umino didn't want to be on the show because of this. Really? He couldn't do this? Okay, fucking grow up, kid. Jesus. That was my feeling coming out of this match and out of this show was that it's like these motherfuckers are pussies.
Yeah.
Like that
You guys are
this
too
is
old
what
to be throwing tantrums about this. Like,
this is a
come on.
step too far. Like that's just so ridiculous. Because it's like you know I don't know. This could have been better if they went more balls to the wall. That's why I liked Great Okan versus Suzu so much because I felt like they were like just going at it as like wrestlers, and I thought that like the intergender stuff was just a interesting wrinkle in how the match worked. But I don't know. Another frustrating historic crossover event when it comes to the mixed stuff. Um, I wish
Yeah.
they just shit or get off the pot, frankly.
Yeah, I don't know how much legs there is to this event every 2 years. If they don't just start treating them a little bit better, you don't have
Hmm.
to go like full WrestleMania main event with it or anything, but you just gotta present them as equals a little bit more. Um, but I don't know. That's their problem, not mine. They like it. Like New Japan fans go fucking nuts for this shit, and the Bushiroad stands are gonna love it. They did 3,500 fans for God's sakes, so they're
Yeah,
happy.
good crowd.
Um,
Good crowd. Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
I
So I don't know.
like. I think if
I'm not
nothing
the
else,
target audience. We are not
getting
the
one
target audience.
big, getting one big Mayu. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna happen in 2 years, but getting one big Mayu, like a good crowd, a good New Japan crowd, that's worth it.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, we have four four shows to preview. We're just gonna
What
fly
the
through this.
fuck?
Yeah. So tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Stardom's in Aomori. The opener is
Oh yeah, Tag
Matoi
League's happening.
Sakura Lady C. Then there's a non-tournament match, Mayu Iwatani and Momo Kogo versus Konami and Azusa. More non-tournament action, Tam, Yuna, and Sayaka Kurara versus Natsuko Tora, Sayaka Mitani, and Rocca. And then Blue Goddess action, Hanan and Saida versus Mei, Sarah, and Kohaku. That's a good
Yes,
one.
yes.
Like that one.
Like I said,
That's
I'm pretty much like if I can't watch anything else, I'm watching the Wingori match, and
that's fair.
there's other stuff I want to see. Oh wait, this is Aomori. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah, this is a good
Yeah.
show. This is what.
Yes.
Yeah, good matches all
Yeah.
around, except for that one match that I hate.
Yeah. Oh yes. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a draw. I don't know. Sure.
Oh,
We then
Hana and
have
Ida need to win. They need as
oh,
many wins as they can
cool.
get
That's
from
great.
here on out, pretty much.
Fantastic. We have Momo Watanabe and Tekla versus Waka and Rian. That's probably a win for our tag champs. Great.
Rion should
Um,
break Tekla's arm again.
Jesus Christ. That's
Not
harsh.
like I don't know, but no, that wasn't okay. That's not way worse. That's not really mean. The way I was looking at it was Rion breaking someone's arm, not Tekla getting her arm broken. Does that make sense? Like, it feels like it would be funny if Rion broke Tekla's arm.
Right. Okay.
Like, just went fucking
Minecraft.
postal. Yeah, in
In
Minecraft,
Minecraft.
obviously.
Yeah. Okay. Micah and
I don't
Hanako
wish any ill will towards anyone. Sorry.
versus Tomoka Inaba and Rana Yagami. I wonder if
I rock with
Tomoka
that.
gets a win over Micah because they
That'd
have
be
that
so cool.
kind of
I think they
relationship.
should.
Yeah, they
I think
might.
she should.
Blue Goddess, Syuri Ano and Natsupoi versus Starlight Kid and Suzu Suzuki. That's probably a draw. I had to guess. But no, they'll
Potentially.
50-50 it because Kid is challenging.
Kid over
Yeah,
Natsubo is
Kid over
possible.
Natsupoi. FWC versus O2 Line, match of the tournament, maybe. FWC gonna win.
Has the potential. I mean, I don't know. O2 Line does not give a fuck.
No, they don't, but I think they
So,
will if this is main event thing. And also it's
yeah,
FWC.
potentially.
So
Yeah, I mean, it should be good at least.
cool. On the 21st, 2 days from now, they're in Tohoku. I don't know why I said it like that. That is, never mind me. Lady C, Sakakara, and Waka in a three-way. Mayser and Kohaku versus Waka and Rian. That's a win for and
Star
Kohaku.
Fox.
Yeah. Non-tournament action, Azumi and Miyu Amasaki versus Natsuko Tora and Azusa Inaba. 10-woman tag, Tam Nakano, Saori Ano, Natsupoi, Yuna Mizumori, and Aya Sakura versus Matoi, Mayu Utani, Momokogo, Hanan, and Saida. That could be good if they do Mayu Tam stuff. Please.
Where's Matoi from?
I don't know.
Because if she's from Toku,
I
that's
wouldn't guess. They
yeah. I
would
mean,
have
that's
called
very
it.
out
So,
there.
yeah.
Um, but no,
They definitely
I
said
could
it in her thing, but I didn't.
I could see that being the match where they potentially bring her into stars
Maybe. We have
if they're doing
Tomoka
that.
Inaba and Rani Yagami versus Konami and Sayaka Mitani in Red Goddess block. Sai Queen don't win a lot, so maybe Tomoka over Konami. She's losing a good bit in this tournament, though.
Um, No, I think Konami just gets
Oh,
over on that. I mean,
okay.
it's God's Eye. They can't have
Yeah,
God's Eye win a thing
that's
against
fair.
it.
That's fair. Starlight Kid and Suzu Suzuki versus Momo Watanabe and Tekla. Um, didn't we have Suzu and Kid going to the final for some reason?
Yeah, them against FWC.
Oh yes, them against FWC. So they
But
probably lose to the champions then. Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Okay. Hazuki and Koguma versus Micah and Hanako. It's probably a win for Micah over one
Yeah,
of these two.
we're gonna have to start getting into
Cool.
math in a couple, like next week.
No. We then on the 23rd are in Sendai in the Miyagi Aztec Museum. Oh, that's the good venue in Sendai.
Yeah,
I remember they were on that. It was nice. Um, Micah and Rian versus Wakasuyama and Hanako in non-tournament action. Mei Sarah, Starlight Kid, and Suzu Suzuki versus Matoi, Momokogo, and Hanan. Just in case you didn't know where Matoi was going, she's
yeah.
only teaming with stars. Blue Goddess block: Unimizumori and Aya Sakura versus Hina and Lady C. I don't know. Unimon gets a win. She needs a win. Let's be
Where are we
nice.
at? Hold on, let me see where we're at for a
Please don't do
second.
this.
We're at 2. Okay, yeah, they can win. They can.
Yeah,
They
okay,
only have
great.
3 matches left. Yeah, they should probably win this one.
We have Mayu Iwatani, Hazuki, Koguma, and Sai Ida versus Natsuko Tora, Konami, Sai Kamatani, and Rocca. Um, Kamatani gonna win. It's Kamatani. They like her. Maybe over Koguma, Ida. Oh, her pinning Saya. Yeah, sure. Red Goddess
I
block:
disagree.
Azumi and Miyu Masaki versus Tomoka Inaba and Rana Yagami. That's O2 line over Rana,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah,
Blue Goddess block: Momo Watanabe and Tekla versus Rina and Azusa Inaba. Whoa, okay. I would
that's
like Rina
interesting.
and Azusa to win. I think that would be fun.
Yeah,
But, they might not do that
roll up
because
on Tekla would be cool.
that would be fun, yeah. Very fun. Red Goddess block: Tam Nakano and Sayaka Kurara versus Syuri and Saki Kashima. That's a
Hmm.
win for Syuri and Saki, and they'll probably do a decent bit of Tam Syuri stuff. So,
Yeah,
you know. Then on the 24th in Koriyama, we have Hanan and Saida versus Waka and Rian and Blue Goddess action, which is probably a win for Wingori.
yes.
Non-tournament action, we have Natsupoi versus Azumi versus Matoi. So, yeah, fun. Blue Goddess block: Hina and Lady C versus Rina and Azusa. I can see Lady C getting her win back over one of the two champions
I could see Lady
after.
C over Azusa, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. That or Rina, whichever.
Oh yeah, Hina over Rina and Rina over Hina is interchangeable too.
Mm, yeah, I think Lady C though, because she just lost the tag titles shot. We'll get it.
That's true. We'll see.
Um, non-tournament action: Syuri and Saki Kashima versus FWC versus Mei and Miyomasaki versus Momo Watanabe and Tekla.
Damn, that's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Starlight Kid and Suzu versus Unimon and Aya Sakura in Blue Goddess
I think
block.
that could be an upset, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Not for sure,
probably.
but it
Kid
could
and
be.
Suzu have a lot of points, so
Yes.
I think so. Mayu and Momokogo versus Tomoka Inaba and Rani Yagami in the red block, which is probably Momokogo staring at the lights.
We're in Fukushima. No, I think Mayu and Momo can get that win.
All right. Tam and Sayaka Kurara versus Natsuko Tora and Rocca. Oh dear lord, they're gonna do so much hate stuff, and Kurara's probably gonna lose.
Wait, is this Fukushima?
Koriyama. Yeah,
The
Fukushima.
24th.
Yeah, Fukushima.
Oh, I have this. I have the schedule I made wrong.
I think they changed it. They changed around some of the dates for matches because
Well,
they moved like
fuck
a
me.
Tam match to Korakuen.
All right. It
Yeah.
doesn't. No. Yeah.
In our main
It's
event,
too late.
Micah and Hanako versus Konami and Sai Kamatani. Ooh, I like that. Kamatani's gonna win.
Oh,
He's
it's
gonna
just these
mess
two
up
are
Micah.
flipped. Okay.
Yeah. So there we go. Kamatani over Micah. We think.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. That's Tag League. It is time to go. I don't want to talk about this anymore. We'll be back next week to preview more Tag League. I think, and the only Marigold stuff that's happening because they're in that thing bears do hibernation. Hibernation. That's what Rossi's
Yes.
up to. All right. If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Isho, stay golden. That's what I meant to say. Stay golden.
Ijo.
Isho.
Yes.